Whoa! Here we are.
Here we go.
Thank you. Wow. Hey, everybody. This is Johnny Beane and Jay Hannon.
Hey, now.
And Butch Jones.
Hello.
Hey. It's Friday night, so we're talking Van Halen.
And drinking bourbon.
Yes. Man. Awesome. Welcome, everybody. It is March 19th, 2021, 8:09 p.m. Eastern, 5:09 Pacific, out here in Santa Cruz, California. And what do I usually say next?
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
I've thrown you off your game and I haven't said anything yet.
Man, yeah, we've been doing these things for years and years and years, and every time it's like the first time. It's weird. It's very strange.
Classic.
But once we get going, it's like putting on a pair of underpants.
Not touching that one.
Backwards and inside out.
Yeah, both feet and one leg.
Yeah.
So
yeah. By the way,
you go first. Go ahead. It's your show.
Okay. By the way, this is a podcast. That's probably something I should mention. So you guys can listen to this over on iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, radio.com. And I know what it is. Man. See, you don't do a show for like a couple days and you just totally forget. Thank you to our executive producers here on YouTube. Charles Green, Joe Christian, Wayno, the Chad, Thomas Santiago, Music Therapy Laz, Susan Silvestri, Bent Tom, James Gum, Jarhead Rock, Frank Corcoran, Michael Smith, Stephen Franklin, Dad Halen, John Moronic, Jimmy Ray Hawkins, Voodoo Child SJ, Mike Neese, and Steve Carmichael. Steve Carmichael! That's the top tier of channel membership here on YouTube on Johnny Beane TV. And if you'd like to become a channel member, click the join button. It's right below the thumbs up button where we're currently at 22 thumbs ups.
Bing! Did that 21 times? 22? What?
Yeah. And we're also live on Facebook over on the Johnny Beane TV Facebook page where we have Facebook stars. If you'd like to help support the channel. And also we're live in the Van Halen 1974 to 2020 Facebook group where we just passed like 32,000 members or something.
Jeez.
Nice.
Now, if we could only get a small percentage of them in here.
If we could only get 3 of those people to watch these shows, that'd be great.
Would be helpful, right?
Yeah. I've been saying I'm going to do a dedicated show in there, so that way Facebook would actually, show it,
Facebook.
Yeah. Anytime we've been having the same issue. Anytime we post like a YouTube link in the band's Facebook page, it gets like after a couple of days, 29 people reached, but you post some BS post about nothing, 3,000 people reached. It's like, come on.
They want to get paid. They want someone that gets Machi money.
Yeah, well, there ain't none of it anyway. So for those of you out there, we got Butch Jones here. Butch is an old hockey buddy of mine. We played hockey together, mostly open hockey because Butch was more of the A-League player. I was kind of like the B League, type of guy. So I don't think we competed against each other like in any games. Maybe we did when I filled in or something.
I don't think so.
For a goalie that maybe wasn't had diarrhea or something.
And then I shot at your head.
Those hurt, man. They really do. So he's from he does reviews and stuff for seaoftranquility.org. I was trying to get him to review the Gizmachi album, but to no avail.
I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on that for you.
As well as the Sea of Tranquility's YouTube channel and show, Hudson Valley Squares. And also Butch's very own Facebook page, The Butcher Shop, which he used to have. Now, if anybody was in the New York area back in the early 90s, right?
Yeah, about mid-90s, 93, 94.
Yeah. There was this awesome radio station. It was 93.3 Z-Rock. and people might remember Shark Man in the mornings and all that stuff. Well, Butch had his very own show on that channel.
Yep.
And I was a huge listener of the channel itself, 93.3. And I just remember one day waking up, turning it on, and I thought I had the wrong station on. I forget what format they switched to. Was it country? 70s. And it was like the end of the world, man. All the few friends that I had that liked rock music were all like, "What's happening?"
Yeah.
So I know Butch can probably fill us in a little bit on that, but that was a very, very cool time. But it kind of showed you, as far as like heavy metal and hard rock, where it was going, type of thing, as far as popularity.
Yeah. Well, you know what it was? Well, you know what? Let me even back up for a second and preface this by saying, as much as I would like to say that I was on Z-Rock nationally, I was not. So what Z-Rock really was is the guy that owned it, Lee Abrams, the guy that started it, was a genius, without a doubt. And but what he ended up doing is stopping Z-Rock, which was satellite radio. So that was the whole idea. You could be across the country and hear the same DJs. And so in the New York area, I had my own show because we had to have a little bit of a local flavor. So I had my show. So it was a local thing to the Hudson Valley area. But what happened was Lee Abrams shut down Z-Rock and started Sirius XM. Yeah. So everybody knows Sirius XM, right? It's the same thing. That's exactly what Z-Rock was, except that it was just one channel and it just did hard rock. He took that idea from the 90s and blew it up. But for me, I had a local show in the Poughkeepsie, Hudson Valley area. So if you were around that area, you could hear it on Friday nights. And what was awesome about it, and really the only reason I even did it, because they, like I said, they wanted to have a little bit of a local flavor. So when people around here could sound like a regular radio station, it wasn't just a national thing. But I was able to play whatever the fuck I wanted to play. So I didn't follow any kind of playlist. I just during like on Monday, what am I going to play on Friday? Okay, well, this band that I love, they have a new record out, so I'm going to push them, and I'm going to talk about Edward, so I can push the old Van Halen, and I can, so I just did whatever I wanted to do, and it was awesome. Yeah. But I recorded it, and I didn't know what I was doing. I knew what I wanted to do, but I wasn't, a DJ. So I'd go in and record the show and get comfortable, just like I'm talking to you guys. Because everything about me is the same. If you guys meet me someplace, it's the same thing. Hands going like this and talking, whatever. So I'd be comfortable recording the show, and they'd be like, "Oh, that was Eddie fucking Van Halen." Oh shit, and they're like, "Oh, okay." Now this was tape. This isn't digital. There was no Pro Tools, computer to just go back and edit. Put it down, splice it, cut it with tape. And in the beginning, I had one of the DJs was my engineer, so he did all that stuff. And I would watch him and talk. And then the first time I actually had to do it by myself, that's exactly what happened. I screwed up and swore, and I couldn't swear because it was still terrestrial radio. Go back, edit, cut it, and I okay, he put tape here, and put it, and then you rewind. Oh, it worked. Okay, cool. Carry on.
The whole show was backwards. You put the thing on.
Oh my God. I had no clue what I was doing, but it was a lot of fun to be able to take that idea. And that's exactly what the whole Butcher Shop group on Facebook is just turning people on the stuff, reminding people of stuff that you forgot about, giving some spotlight to bands that completely deserved it, that we all love, different bands. Everyone's got those bands that they love. It's like, these guys should have been huge. So that's what the group is about. And then now everyone has kind of got in, and I mean, I had a Facebook page, which was a lot of fun, but anyone that's on Facebook, they keep changing the rules. I had my own personal page. I've been doing polls. That's what this whole thing was about, doing music polls, guitar player polls, all these different polls. I've been doing it for like 13 years now. And on your personal page, you could put polls up and pictures of album covers or whatever pictures you wanted to do. They took that away. So then you had to make a page. The page you could do the polls with the pictures and the banners and everything. You can click it and everything. They took that away. So then it's like, well, it's no fun just to put up a question and have you type in. You want to be able to see who wins. And I'm not going through 1,000 comments to add them all up. I tried that in the beginning. I'm like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
So I started a group, because the group is the only place that you can still make an actual banner poll. Can't put pictures up, but you can type in what it is. So I have like 5,500 likes and followers or whatever on the Butcher Shop page. And so I made this group. So I'm trying to get everyone from the page into the group, which is much more counteract. Everyone's involved in it. On my page, it was like you could comment to what I posted, but you couldn't post your own stuff. So now on the group, I want people to promote their bands and promote different bands and, do whatever you got to do. Just make it like it's a community to hang out with your friends, exactly like we're doing right now. So
awesome.
I just took the name because the Butcher, obviously my nickname is Butch. So when I started that show and on Z-Rock, it was like, well, I got to call it something. I'm like, oh, the Butcher Shop. It's like, oh my God, that's perfect. So that's just carried over from 1994 to 2021.
So then the day that they changed formats, what was that like? What happened?
I'll never forget it.
Do you remember the day? Was it 94, 95? What was it?
95.
95?
Yeah, 95. I want to say 96, but I'm pretty sure it was 95. On Friday, so I'm at the office at the radio station, and there was a sign. Or they said we have, we're going to have a meeting on Saturday morning. I'm like, Saturday morning? Saturday's my day. I'm not coming in. Like, yeah, all right, And then as I was leaving, no, I'm sorry, that's not true. We're having a meeting on Saturday. So Saturday comes, and I think I might have been one of the first people in the office. So I'm waiting for everyone else to get there. Now, in the office, the guy that owned the local affiliate, because that's what it was, is the affiliate of Z-Rock. The guy that owned the affiliate owned the big country station in the area. And remember, in the 90s, country was humongous. Shania Twain, all those people. Travis Tritt, it was huge.
Faith Hill.
Faith Hill. Yep. She was not that Faith Hill Shania Twain was a problem to look at. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, there you go.
I had no problem looking at the huge posters in there.
You'd buy the CDs and just play them with the sound off.
Oh, exactly. Man. You're absolutely right. But I get to the station, which was the country station, really, and there was a sign on one of the phones, and it said, "How to field Z-Rock phone calls this weekend." I'm like, what the hell's that mean? I'm like, all right, the little spidey sense goes up. Okay, and then everyone gets in. It's like, okay, well, I'll let you know that we're changing formats. Z-Rock is going away, and we're changing to Z93 all 70s. I'm like, what? Now, for Z-Rock, I was hired to do sales, commercial sales. I started with that. I would say maybe within 2 weeks, I was doing sales. I was the promotions director. So like if you had events, I was the guy out promoting the station, being the guy giving away stuff. And then I had friends in the record business, in the company, around in the industry. And I said, we don't get any stuff to give away. I have like 5 CDs over here and 3 cassettes. Because yes, this is 94. It was cassettes. So they're like, well, are you reporting? I'm like, you mean to the trades? He's like, yeah. It's like, no. Yeah, there you go.
What's that?
I don't know. I found it.
Artifact.
My grandpa had it.
There'll be a tutorial later.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I found that, we weren't reporting to any of the trades, and that's why we weren't getting any promo stuff to give out. So I started to report to the trades, and all of a sudden UPS is coming with CDs and cassettes and all this stuff. So I went from being the sales guy. Now I'm promotions director. Now I'm the program director. And then I got my show. So I started with one thing, and by, I would say 4 or 5 months, I was doing 4 things. So it was a lot of fun.
I had getting paid for one, or did they?
Oh no. I was barely getting paid for the one, but I figured out ways to make the other one work. Which, like when I was out at an event doing something, and they gave me, this is before I started taking control of everything. They would give me for a 3-hour event at a club. Here's 3 T-shirts, and here's 3 cassettes, and here's a CD. I'm like, but there's gonna be 400 people at this. I got to make this last for 3, maybe 4 hours. That's what we got. I'm like, all right. So I go. I'm like, all right, well, I like to drink. So I'm like, okay, well, the first person to buy me a shot of Jägermeister gets this cassette. I'd have 8 shots and 1 cassette. Well, you were first, so here's your cassette. Thank you very much. And I got 8 shots. So
sounds like a plan.
Yeah, kind of got that and started making some, having a tab, which is very important. Tabs are very important because Butch likes free. So I wasn't getting paid a lot, but I made up for it in some other fun ways. So it was fun.
Hey, if you can go out to a show and drink virtually for free, I mean, nowadays, man, we go to the House of Blues over here near Myrtle Beach. $9 for one of those 16-ounce Bud Lights. $9 for a 16-ounce Bud Light. It's like, oh my God, man.
That you could go to the gas station and get for $2.50.
Yeah. You literally get like almost a 12-pack for that, man. It's crazy.
You're right. You're
Crazy.
right.
So basically, when you went in there and you saw that on the phone and they told you guys that was it, what was the? What did they tell? Like, did they point out? Okay, you're gonna stay. You're gonna stay.
No. It was okay. We're changing the format. So it was basically the sales staff. So you can, this is what you're gonna have to sell now. We're selling 70s, which, to be completely honest with you, business wise for advertising sales, Z-Rock, as much as we loved it because that's our home. The music, but they didn't care as a business. They're like, okay, their thing was Z-Rock was positioned for, this is what they said. It was for 18 to 34 and they didn't spend money. That's what they said. You're not a professional. You don't have a home. You have a nice car. So they're looking for advertisers to get the 25, the 49 crowd. They're looking for someone that's going to spend money. And my whole thing was, 18 to 34, you have disposable cash because you don't have the nice car. You don't have a family. You don't have a house, whatever. And but it was hard to sell to places because, unfortunately, one of the advertisers happened to be like a strip club on the station. So they're promoting that because that does sell to 18 to 34-year-old guys. But exactly. But, if you're going to a big car dealership trying to get them to advertise, they're like, well, really don't want to be associated with the strip club, which I get, but don't get at the same time. So, but when you switch to 70s, now it's an older clientele. Mm-hmm. So now it was easier to sell. But like I was saying before, I started with one hat and then ended up wearing 4 or 5. And then one Saturday morning, I was stripped of the 4 or 5 and back down to 1. So now I'm just a sales guy. And I love 70s stuff, but I don't love it more than the hard rock stuff of 70s, 80s, and 90s. So it wasn't fun anymore because now I wasn't a DJ. I wasn't promotions. I wasn't doing any of those fun things anymore. So I stayed for maybe a year, but I immediately started looking for something better. And then I just didn't find anything that was worth switching from there to. And then once I finally did, I was glad to get out. And they just fucked up the whole thing. It really sucked. It really did. He completely got our legs taken. I had no idea it was coming. None.
They used to do cool stuff. Like, remember the did they call it the ass backwards song of the day or the bass?
They did.
Whatever.
I think it was ass backwards. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the one that I remember getting, but I couldn't get through. It was whatchamacallit? Walk in the Shadows from Queensryche. Mm-hmm. And they played it backwards, and I was like, I know what that is, but I couldn't get through. That was always cool. Stuff like that, it was always cool, man. But I still remember waking up that day and turning it on, and it wasn't there. And I was like, oh, no. Because, I mean, that channel, or station, I guess I should call it, that's how I found out about Dream Theater and all my friends. They played Pull Me Under like it was going out of style.
They sure did.
They did, man. And, that's how I found out about a lot of that stuff at that time. Man.
Absolutely.
It was so cool, but
absolutely.
Times are different now, especially.
And you know what? I could absolutely be wrong, but I want to say, I think it was April 1st. So I think I want to say it was that, and I think people thought it was an April Fool's joke, and it was not.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Yeah, it sucked, man. It sucked. It really
my
did.
One crowning moment on that station, I actually called up one time and got through to request a song, right? So I called up, and it was during the blizzard of '92.
Oh,
you remember that? You remember that?
Yeah.
And I called up, and I got through. I forget who the hell it was in the afternoon. I forget who the hell it was. Got through, and I request the 316 guitar solo from the Live Right Here Right Now album, thinking they're going to play an entire, whatever long that is, 15 minutes or whatever it is. And I'm on there talking to the DJ for a couple minutes, right? And I know it's recorded. They're gonna play it when they get back from break, whatever. So I'm sitting there listening to me and my friend Anthony, and I'm pumped. I'm like, I'm gonna be on the radio. So they go back and they're like, all right, we got Jason from New Windsor, New York. You know, and there's blah, blah, blah. Yeah. All you hear me say is, he says something about Eddie Van Halen. And I'm like, well, he's God. And out of all the couple-minute conversation I had with this guy talking about Van Halen, that's all I said on the air was God. Yeah. And I was like, that's it. That's all I did. I was pissed. And then
did you tape it? You have
a cassette of that? I'm sure I have it somewhere in my
oh, it's classic.
But of course, they played Eruption.
Of course.
Just from Van Halen 1. So yeah. I was like, come on, everybody's heard this a million times.
God, you know what? That's hysterical because there was I guess it doesn't matter now that considering it's been gone for decades at this point, but it was so funny because like I said, the whole premise of Z-Rock was that it was satellite and they made you think that it was a local DJ, even though they kept saying from Texas, but people always thought it was local. And we had a dedicated request line local. There was an answer machine. It was an answer machine. So if you called the local number to request something, no one heard it because it was an answer machine. I walked into the office and hit the button. It's like, hey, can you play Bon Jovi? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, how do these people not understand that this is just an answer machine? You're not hearing your songs, are you?
You're like, when was this?
Oh my God, it was the greatest. They did a great job of hiding it. You know, it was really funny.
Well, that brings up something current, actually, Butch. And Johnny, you know this one now. So ever since Liquid Metal started playing our latest single, Look What I've Become, about almost probably a month ago now, they have on their website, do you have the screenshot up there, Johnny? Can you there it is, right? So I screenshotted it with my phone and I've been sharing it on social media. You might have seen it.
Yeah.
Johnny has been nice enough to show it on this, where am I?
It's your promo. They don't need to see you.
So all the shows that Johnny does on this channel, he's cool enough to tell people to call up, email, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So the day I think the album came out, which was March 12th, I posted a story with that same screenshot, right? Telling people to call up and request the song. And I tagged 2 of the DJs from Serious Liquid Metal. So one of them actually responded to my story and said, what is that phone number to? Or what is that? And I was like, what do you mean? It's on your website. He's like, is it? He goes, we haven't had a phone number in almost 10 years.
Oh my God.
It's like, what happens when you call it? I said, Jose is on the answer machine saying, press 1 to leave a request, do the devil's dozen, whatever. So he gets back to me after a few minutes. He's like, oh my God, I just called it. You're right. He's like, I haven't checked that thing. That thing is just like a empty answering machine. So all the people, and I obviously thank everybody for doing it because it was like for weeks and weeks. My parents were calling.
Oh,
they're having their friends calling, 70-year-old people calling up. Can you play this, Marcy? But it's all for nothing. But the cool thing was, we were 10, then 11, and then 7, which was cool. So it was an organic thing. Nothing we did really affected it. So, but it was very cool. Funny. It was like a bullshit number.
Well, man, you know what? I gotta tell you, I'm really proud of you. Knowing you as long as we've known each other, and knowing that you're from the area, and I remember you guys playing locally in the little clubs and doing everything. Like, who the fuck gets Mossy? What the fuck is that? What the fuck does that mean? And then and then meeting each other and playing hockey together and everything, and to see that you took a long ass fucking break to do another fucking record, but you finally got it right. This is great. This record is awesome, and I'm really happy for you, man. So I really hope that this record blows up for you because you deserve it, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that, Butch.
Absolutely.
Now, is
it's over.
Is it Van Halen time?
It's always Van Halen time.
Yeah. Man, I was gonna wear my Van Halen shirt, but I couldn't find it. One of our longtime actually channel members, Mike Neese, he bought me the one that says Forever, has Eddie jumping and says Forever. It's a brand new shirt. Mike, thank you again, man. He sent that to me. I got it last week, and I was going to wear it, but I think because I wore it on Tuesday's show, so it's in the laundry. But
well, you can't top this shirt anyway. You can't do that.
That's a good one.
1979 Edward. You cannot top it.
awesome. So Butch, so when did you first get into Van Halen?
Oh boy, that's interesting that you should ask me that. I happen to have a prop ready right here, and a story.
Wow, look at that. You thought
yeah,
sets were rare.
My favorite album, my favorite album of all time, Van Halen 2. So the great story behind this is, and this is actually a really cool story, and I'm trying not to get misty because every time I end up talking about it, it makes me think about it, and I get myself a little happy thinking about it. But for my 12th birthday, I went to New York City with my mom. She took me to this old department store called Corvettes, with a K, not a C like the car, with a K.
Mm-hmm.
And for my birthday, I was going to see. Now, this is actually a fucking great. I love this story actually. Again, so remember, I was 12. So my birthday's in May. I was going to see UFO and AC/DC with Bon Scott at 12 years old.
Wow.
In June of 79. I didn't know AC/DC. I knew the band's name. I don't think I'd ever even really heard them at the time, but I knew UFO a little bit. Some of the older kids in my neighborhood, oh, UFO, you'd love them. You should go. So they were coming local in Poughkeepsie, New York. And my mom bought me a ticket for $9. UFO and AC/DC with Bon Scott in 1979 for $9. And just to add with that, the T-shirt that I got a UFO T-shirt, a baseball shirt, 3/4 sleeves. Yep. The T-shirt was $11. The T-shirt cost more than the ticket. Okay. Dang. So anyway, back to Corvette's department store. So I had heard of Van Halen.
Where was the concert? Which venue?
Mid-Hudson Civic Center. Civic Center in Poughkeepsie, New York. Absolutely. So my mom had already got me the ticket for that, and somebody. Some of the older kids. So let me break. I'm sorry. So I'm an only child. So I live I still live in the same house that I grew up in. So when I was a kid, I had like friends and their older brothers who were like 6 years older than us. So if I was 12, they're 18, and they knew more stuff than I knew at 9, 10, 11, 12 as I was growing up. But I got into stuff really, really early because of those guys. Mm-hmm. Like I got 3 Robin Trower albums for Christmas when I was 9 years old because of them. So I was in this shit really, really early, and which is why I think I keep trying to turn people on to things, because it was people turning me on to stuff that changed my life, and I keep trying to pass it forward. Mm-hmm. So someone had said about Van Halen, it's like, oh, you would love Van Halen, blah, blah, blah. So we go to the store, and I knew I wanted to get a Van Halen record. So we're looking through the bin, 1979. So there's 2 records. Yeah. So I didn't know which one to get. So my mom says to the kid that's working there's 2 Van Halen records here. Which one should I get them? And the kid said, well, get Van Halen 2, the second one that just came out. So get that one. So she did. So she bought me Van Halen 2. Had no idea what was on it. Hadn't heard of no idea. And she also bought me UFO Strangers in the Night, one of the greatest live albums of all time. Hadn't heard anything from that. Now, remember, I was going to see UFO with AC/DC, so she bought me that so I'd have an idea of some of the stuff, and I was going to go see them. I go home, hadn't heard either one of these albums, didn't really know the bands, nothing. I go home, and my 12-year-old little brain was obliterated from both records. There has not been, and I swear on my mom, there has not been a month since May of 1979 that I have not heard something from those 2 records. So I think I listened to Van Halen 2 first. That I don't remember. And again, just I don't understand what's going on. And then bring UFO and there's a double album. And again, I don't understand. I does not compute. I don't get it. And then I was already playing guitar a little bit at that time, so I got the guitar. Now, that was the thing. I got the guitar thing, which made me say, I don't understand what the fuck is going on. This one guy is doing it, and then this guy, and you're looking, and I have so much useless knowledge because of reading the covers and reading the stuff and where it was recorded and all these kind of things. And then you go forward a little bit, a couple of years, whatever. And again, just on and on and on. The love just grows and grows and grows and grows for this record. And, everyone's got their own favorite Van Halen record. The first one obviously is monumental. Yeah. But to me, there is nothing. You can give me whatever argument you want to give me. Because honestly, and Jay, you and I have talked about this forever, and I always it's like, oh, shut the fuck up. You don't get it. Your opinion means nothing. What record is your favorite? Stop it. But it's when you come in, is wherever you come in, it's always going to end up being the place you gravitate towards.
Yeah.
And for me, so the Bumblebee guitar, I can remember looking at that, and I mean, again, I remember all this like it was yesterday. To take this out and just stare at those pictures. And look at fucking Edward. He's the coolest fucking guy I've ever seen in my life. Look at him.
Yep.
And to this day, every day, since he died, I have posted a different picture every day. And I was just doing it in the beginning just because I love him so much. And I did it before that. Random days, I was just in 2010, I'm feeling Edward, and I just post a picture. So I would always do that. But then once he died, and I take time, I figured, and I know Johnny doesn't know it yet, but the love, and that's why you hear me call him Edward, just like he always wrote on the albums. He didn't say Eddie, he said Edward, and I'll get into this later. I have a whole theory of why I specifically call him Eddie and why I don't and won't call him Ed. Well, I call him Eddie, but why I call him Edward, referring to the music and not Eddie. There's a whole theory behind it. But on this record, man, that Bumblebee guitar is one of the most coveted guitars I've ever wanted. And just looking at these pictures now, I feel 12 years old all over again. Every time I see these pictures, it makes me so happy. And just to go through and try to dig through the bazillion pictures that are out there on the internet. And I've been looking at these pictures since '79. So every day when I post something, I try to post I do post a picture that I've never seen before. So if I've never seen it and I'm, Uber Edward guy, I know the masses haven't seen it because I've never seen it. So it's fun to post something different and people, comment is like, what the fuck? I've never seen this one. It's like, I know, I didn't see it either. And it's just, yeah, I mean, I could go on forever, and I will tell you this, because this is what this show's all about. As you see the smile coming on my face as I'm just looking at it and thinking about it. I remember maybe it definitely wasn't the first time. Well, it could have been the first time I actually heard this record, but starting with "You're No Good," which is a badass fucking cover. And the solo that Edward does in that is creepy and it's cool. It's just badass. So it starts with a cover, and again, I was a kid in the 70s, so you knew the Linda Ronstadt version, and like, that don't sound like Linda Ronstadt, which was awesome, And then Dance the Night Away comes, which is a cool, uplifting song. But I've always said, it's like those first two songs, I love them, they're awesome. But Van Halen 2 starts on Somebody Get Me a Doctor. Those first three chords, my God, I can just look off to the distance like I'm doing now, and I can hear it, and you can hear how loud Edward was recording it. You can just hear it. It's sizzling, and just the chords breathing. Oh, God damn. He hits those chords, and then it just breathes a little bit, and then they come in. It's like, forget it. Yeah. It's over.
So was that, did you hear any Van Halen like on the radio before you got that record? Or was "You're No Good" your very first introduction to Van Halen?
I would like to say that was my first introduction, but I must have heard "You Really Got Me." I had to have. But I don't really remember it, because I just remember that hearing the beginning of "You're No Good" being like, oh, okay. I haven't heard anything like that before.
The bass, Michael's bass solo with the flash.
Everything from that fading into that, and then Eddie coming in and doing this thing, and then the solo, and Dave with the howls. Oh God, it's just like it's perfection. That record is the first record is mean, and we're hungry and we're pissed off that it took so long to get signed. And then the second record was, well, the first record went pretty good. We killed Black Sabbath every night. Everyone seems to love us. This is great, you know? And then the second record is, all right, well, we can have fun now. We can have a little bit of a party and be ourselves like we were. And man, Jesus, like I said, you get to Somebody Get Me a Doctor, and those chords, it's like, fuck me. And then the solo, just everything. And then understanding that it's Eddie on one side and Michael on the other side, and there's no rhythm track, and he just goes from playing rhythm to lead.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck? Who is this guy?
Yeah, and modern bands don't know how good they have it with digital recording, because like you were talking about earlier with the tape, with recording and stuff like that. Back then, in the tape days,
Splice.
you had to know what you were playing inside and out. You know what I mean? Of course, there was overdubs and you could kind of punch in here and there, but it wasn't like nowadays. I mean, I talk about this a lot where you record a solo, you could literally record it like part by part, and you're like, well, hear that one note right there in the middle of that. That one note's flubbed. Let me just, and you can literally fix anything with Pro Tools and all that stuff. Back then, man, you had to know what you were playing, and you talked about it, man. You can hear, like when you hear the Johnny, you have all the isolated tracks from all the Guitar Hero stuff.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah.
You can hear him switching the pick, like, you know, like going for, like you said, a lead or rhythm to lead, and it's like, whoa. You know, everything was like virtually one take, and it's like, oh my
You hear
God.
everything. Yeah.
It was crazy stuff.
It is completely badass.
Mhm.
Especially if you have headphones on, or if you have a really good stereo at home or in your car, and you can have it really loud. And like I said, just listen to the first three chords of Somebody Get Me a Doctor, and listen to him holding that last chord, and you can just hear the volume and the sizzle as it just about breaks up the feedback. And it's like, oh my God, that is complete platinum. Forget gold. That is platinum.
Van Halen is one of those bands that I like listening to people like kind of talk about the first time they heard, or first time they remember hearing it. You know, they're one of those bands. Metallica is one of those bands. And for the last little while, I've been watching, every once in a while, I'll be up here at night late, and I'll be watching the reaction videos. You know, like people that have never heard that stuff, listen to it or watch a video the first time. And for a little while, I'm like, why do I like watching this? And then I realized, I'm like, because I want to relive that moment of when I first heard something, like things that changed my life, music that changed my life. And I get to see the reaction of somebody experiencing it for the first time.
Yeah.
And I get pumped.
Yeah.
I get pumped watching that stuff. Especially late at night when I'm a little fried up here, you know.
Well, I tell you, I totally agree with you. And you know, this is my favorite album of all time. And then, you know, for vinyl, for you kids out there that have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, you know, you go from Somebody Get Me a Doctor to Bottoms Up to Out of Love Again and to Side One. And then you walk across the room, take the vinyl and flip it over. And then my favorite Van Halen song of all time, and it could very well be my favorite song period of all time. Light Up the Sky comes on, and again, I know at 12 years old it was completely the you know, that whole gone, man. And to this day, I always have my music on shuffle, and if that comes on, it's played 5, 6, 7 times in a row. And it's the same feeling as 12 years old now. The same guttural, making you, whatever's going on in your life, you start smiling, you hear him doing that. And to me, that is one of the most Edward songs of all time. The rhythm is unorthodox. Everything he does in that song is unorthodox. And then the solo comes and he lets loose, and oh God.
Yeah.
Again, perfection. It's this record means everything to me. It's just amazing.
I have a very close friend who's not the biggest Van Halen fan, to say the least.
And he's your friend?
Yeah, well,
he's close.
He got into metal a little later, you know,
Okay.
and then I was on the phone with him a while ago, and he was like, he's like, I'm not the biggest Van Halen fan, you know. Obviously, I know that Eddie's one of the greatest guitar players that ever lived, blah blah blah. but like when I hear their songs, I'm not really, whatever. So he's like, what song, do you want me to kind of go back and listen to, so obviously I'd mentioned I'm the One from Van Halen 1. And I said, dude, listen, that album came out in 1978. Like no one was even thinking about playing guitar like that. So when you think of it in terms like that, if somebody came out with that now, it's like, oh yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
But like, nobody was playing anything near what Eddie was playing back then. And when you put that into account, it's just like, holy crap. Exactly. That guy was from a different planet.
Exactly. Yeah, Jay, you're absolutely right. If again, for someone your age and the stuff that you grew up with, the landscape had already been changed by the time you came around. So you're right. But I know you. I'm just teasing you, but you know the history and everything. But you're right. For people my age and when I was a kid, to be there at not quite the beginning, but almost the beginning, and to watch it change. Like you said, the things he was doing from everything. That's why he's God. He's the king. Everyone calls him King Edward. The tone. Mm-hmm. No one had you heard that tone. You're like, what the? How did he do that? Forget the tapping and all that. Just the tone. 1978, disco was huge. Nugent and Rick Derringer and Frank Marino and Johnny Winter, and I love all of those guitar players. But he was a revolution. Tone, super strat. Who was playing a strat with one pickup?
Yeah.
Graphics. Charvel guitars wouldn't exist today if it wasn't for him doing the graphics. Figure everyone that came in the 80s, all the guys that I grew up with that are heroes of mine, all because of him. Mm-hmm. If Edward didn't do the tone, to get the type of guitar, knowing that, fuck you, I'm not paying that much money for that guitar. That doesn't do what I want it to do. I'll make my own guitar. Look at that. The boutique thing that's going on today for $12,000 for a fucking guitar that you could build for yourself for, $1,000, maybe $800. That's a whole nother thing. But he changed the landscape.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking music at this point, just guitar. If it wasn't for him, all the diamonds, like I said, so someone now, a kid that's 13 years old in his room and hears Eruption. Well, what's the big deal about that? Well, because anybody that you're listening to that you love right now would not exist if that guy did not do it in 1978 and start the revolution.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling to think, to hear the stuff that was before, because that's literally what it is. There's a before and there's an after.
Yeah.
And
B-E and what would it be? A-E? B-E and A-E?
So Butch, so I'm going to assume you heard Spanish Fly before you heard Eruption.
Yes.
And what was that? That must have been a trip. To do it the other way around.
Yeah, no, you know what? It's equally awesome because it's on acoustic, and it is completely badass. And then it goes into DOA, which is like, wow, just acoustic attitude into electric attitude. That's very true. To hear that first and then to go back and hear it. But I wasn't. Not that I wasn't floored, but I'd already heard Spanish Fly. So you had something to kind of compare it to a little bit or to prep you for what was coming,
Mm-hmm.
But either way, just landmark. Just
well, kind of like you when you mentioned you had some older friends that kind of showed you the stuff. Like I was lucky enough, my brother is 4 years older than I am. So he was the one that got me into that stuff. And I'm still trying to remember. I remember mentioned to Johnny and Dave a while ago of like what Van Halen album I remember hearing first, but it might have been Fair Warning, because I remember my brother had the tape and I remember bringing it into my room, putting it on and staring at the cassette, the cover, thinking like, this is some dark shit. I was probably like, maybe 7 or 8 or something. I can't remember exactly.
7 or 8,
but it was
I hate you.
No, I mean, I might have been you know, I mean, I moved from
I
Illinois
might have
when
been
I was
6.
9, so no, I was probably like 7 or 8 years old when that was going on.
That's awesome.
And obviously like Rush with 2112, I remember like just listening to that tape for a while, but same thing. Like if my brother wasn't into that stuff, who knows what I'd be into now.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
There might be a bunch of accordions behind me right now. You know, listening to Weird Al. Who knows?
I mean, you're right. It's huge. It's because you got to hear something from somebody. Someone's got to turn you on to something. You don't just wake up and just turn on the radio and just, you know what I mean? You don't just find it usually on your own.
Well,
you might find
watched by the radio telling you what to listen to. That's
true.
You know?
Right.
So,
right.
I feel bad for these kids nowadays.
Oh God, I feel bad for the kids now, man. It's awful.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's really important, man. And that's cool. Like you said, what would you be doing now? What would you be listening to? Would Gizmachi be a band? You know, if it wasn't for, you know, all those dominoes start from that one little thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge.
So you got Van Halen 2. What was the next record you got from Van Halen? Was it like instantly like, Ma, we got to go get another one?
Well, for me, it wasn't a lot of options because.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
that was.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't think I got one next. I think I got Women and Children first because that was the next. You know, that was the next year. I think I got that next.
Oh, okay.
And here's something funny. I love throwing myself under the bus about stupid things. I can remember being in junior high school with Women and Children first, and now I'm an Edward devotee. He's the guy, you know. Mm-hmm. And I can remember really clearly Myers Corners Elementary School, where I was in 7th grade, and I had Women and Children first. And I remember going into the cafeteria and asking other friends that also like Van Halen, did anyone else get, did anybody get the Eddie Van Halen poster and Women and Children first? Because I'll trade you for my David Lee Roth poster. Did you guys anyone get Eddie? Because I don't want Dave, I want Eddie. Like, no, I got Dave in my poster too. Oh, all right, shit. Anybody? No, I got Dave in mine too. And then you're like, oh, they're not like Kiss, really? Wait, they only made one? Oh man. We all got the same I want Eddie. Oh man. And yes, I still have the poster. It's still folded up and it's still in my Women and Children first. It's never been hung up. It's perfect.
Oh, it's on the ceiling above your bed. Yeah. That's not where it was.
I used to be a huge Van Halen collector years ago, and actually every vinyl that I would find with the poster, I would buy it. Ooh. So I probably have like 20 copies of that poster. But again, they're all in the record. None of them have ever been on the wall.
Right? Yeah, it's perfect, perfectly folded right inside.
Wasn't there an article written by somebody? This is probably about 6 years ago now. That like that whole photo shoot that I guess Dave kind of set up for Women and Children first was kind of like the beginning of the end, as far as like the relationship and the ego stuff that Dave was going through. Did you ever?
I haven't heard that. I know who the photographer was, but I never heard that story. Yeah,
it was in oh man, God, it was probably about maybe 5 or 6 years ago now. Okay. I remember reading all about it, and I was like, wow, obviously you never know. I mean, anybody can come up with a story of like, oh, this might have been it. But I thought it was a very interesting thing. Like the rest of the band was like, what is Dave doing to us type of thing, you know? What are we doing here? You know,
but you know what?
Yeah.
I've never thought about it. I've never heard it, but hearing you say it, it makes complete. I mean, what's the name of the fucking band? and the singer's got a poster and nobody else has got a poster, you know. Yeah. But I mean, okay. So let's say that was it. Okay, let's say that was the beginning of the problem. It's not like he could have just gone and said, "Hey, put this poster in there." Someone at Warner Brothers had to say, "Okay, let's do this." So he had to get an okay to do it, but it would be a ballsy move to say, "Hey, I want my poster." But listen, if I could have found the Eddie Van Halen poster of that, I would have been a really happy 7th grader.
That would have been on
That-
your bedroom ceiling.
That would have been great.
That would have been up. Absolutely. That would have been up there.
I think the poster was limited. I think there was only like so many of those too.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, there was only like Roth actually says in an interview, he actually says how many come in the first so many copies of that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, anybody out there, I have a pristine in my album, never been on the wall, still perfectly folded up copy. I can be bought. Submit those offers below.
If you think about it, right, I could almost like picture Eddie, like if somebody from the label came to him and said, "Hey, Dave has an idea of like he wants to put a poster or pictures of the band," and so, I don't want to be a poster in the album. I don't let Dave do that. I can almost picture like let Dave do that. I don't want to do that.
You know what? I didn't think that's where you were going, but yes, that you're absolutely right. I could totally see that. Fuck, I don't want to fucking go ahead and let him do it then.
Yeah,
is that true?
Damn,
no, they're not going for $1,000, are they? Because, like I said, I have like 20 of them.
I was gonna say, shit, fuck him. If it's $1,000, $9.99. I'll give you my email address right now. PayPal it right now. I'll go downstairs and get it and show you. Wow. I thought for sure there was an Eddie Van Halen poster. I swear to God. Did anyone get the Eddie poster? I'll trade you right now. No? Wow.
So
why did everyone get the same poster I got?
So 79 is the first time you hear Van Halen.
Yes, sir.
First time you saw Van Halen live.
November 13th, 1982.
Oh my God.
Diver Down Tour, Nassau Coliseum, New York. Long Island,
Holy
New York.
Crap.
So here's the thing. Okay. So 79, my mom gets me the record at Corvette's department store. I'm in.
Life changed. There it is.
You don't understand, man. There's BC AD.
Yeah.
Life has changed. 1980, Women and Children First Tour. My mother worked, and so anyone watching, listening, and in the Hudson Valley, New York area, IBM was the big employer of our area. So my mom worked at IBM. Back in those days, hey, I'm gonna go shopping for 3 hours, and I'm gonna come back to work. Oh, sure, go shopping, come back. So my mother went to Ticketron, not Ticketmaster. Ticketron used to be in Sears. My mother, I said, Mom, Van Halen tickets, Eddie. Butch has to see. Remember Van Halen 2, Corvettes? I have to see this guy. So my mom leaves at lunch break, goes up to Sears, gets online. There's a line to get tickets for Van Halen. She gets up there, sold out. Women and Children First. Yep, exactly. And I'm in school, so I don't know what happened until I get home from school, run up, get the corded phone, and call my mom at work. Did you get them? It was sold out.
Oh.
Now hit it.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. So 1981, fair warning. Ma, Van Halen, Edward.
You got to get there earlier.
You learned your lesson. You got to leave a little early. She gets up there. I get home from school. Ma, sold out. All right, Ma, listen. You've had 2 shots at this. It's Diver Down, which is where he starts to become Eddie and not Edward anymore.
Oh.
Mom, you got to get home from school. Mom, did you get them? Yes, I did. And I don't remember what month she got them, but I know that the show was, I think, supposed to be in the summer. And I think that was the tour Eddie broke his wrist. And then the East Coast, they had to postpone stuff, and it got moved to November. So she got the tickets X day. Oh, now you got to make me wait even more months to see them. So November 13th comes around, and that whole day at school is like, I don't care what you're saying. I'm seeing Edward Van Halen tonight. Just let me get out of here. I have to get out of here. I have to get out of here. I go to the show. He had an awful. I just talked about this last week on the Sears Trinco on our Hudson Valley. I almost said Hudson Valley Renegades. Oh my god, Hudson Valley Square show. Talking about bad openers. And I think it was. If anybody out there has ever heard of the Bandit Band, and I know none of you have because I haven't.
The Bandit Band, huh?
The Bandit Band is who opened for Van Halen November 13th, 1982 at the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, New York. Can you just hurry up so Eddie can come out? Whatever. Come on. The lights go down and he's offside making all the elephant noises and harmonics and tapping and making all this stuff. And you're like, I've been waiting since 1979 for this. And he comes out to the foot of the stage and making all the noise and looks at everybody and turns around and runs at the cabinets and jumps up and kicks the cabinets and makes the cabinets sweat. I'm like, this is not fucking happening, right? It's like, oh, I was in my complete glory. And then he comes up and then opens up with Romeo Delight. Gone. Unreal.
Wow. So where were your seats? Do you remember?
It was not on the floor. It was on the side, like the first level off the floor. So you could still kind of see. So you didn't really. I did stand up. You didn't really have to stand up because you could see everything. Oh man! I still have the ticket stub, of course. That was life altering part 2.
So you were 15 then?
Wow. Yep.
Because I was 15 when I saw them at the Orange County Fairgrounds in '93.
I was there that one too. Yep.
That was the first time I saw him.
Yep.
And it's weird. Like, I remember that was obviously we talked about Vince Neil Exposed. That record, that record is in its entirety. My opinion is that it blows away any full Motley Crue record from front to back. From front to back. Yeah, that Exposed record is phenomenal. It's a great record. It
certainly is.
And I remember being in the me and my friend Anthony were in front of where Steve Stevens was.
Anthony again, huh?
Yeah. That was the old Gizmachi drummer. That was my best friend at the time, man. We went to everything. So, and I remember, man, Vince Neil and everybody came out and they had, I guess his guitar tech brought the little cup with his ray gun in it, Steve Stevens.
Yeah.
And I just remember that. And then literally like within minutes, it was so hot. The show was in July. In New York, and you know how that is.
Yes, I do. Humid.
Yeah, and I just remember, the bouncers were in the front with the hoses just spraying.
Right.
It got so hot where I was like, I got to get we stood back but where like the garbage cans were but when Van Halen hit the stage, I still remember that feeling. The crowd went ape shit. They opened up with Mine All Mine, and it was just like seeing, like we talked about, like somebody that is just your musical hero finally in front of you. It was like, oh my God. It was great, man.
Absolutely.
Great thing. Johnny.
Yeah. I remember when I first, well, yeah, we're a little younger than you, but
yeah.
I first saw them in '88.
Okay.
And I remember reading the tour book. This was after the Monsters of Rock. It was the 08 one too, just the regular tour.
I saw my Monsters of Rock.
Man, I wanted to see them on that, but it was
wait,
a couple states away. And...
You saw the Meadowlands?
Yep. I got my passes. I got my passes still.
My brother was there too. He's not even a Metallica fan. He's like, Metallica blew everybody off the stage that day.
Everybody but George Lynch.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
You don't fuck with George Lynch.
No, I know that.
No, Metallica was fierce. They were fierce because they were the most aggressive band there.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Of course, they're going to stand way above everything else that came after them for sure. That was awesome. I'm sorry, John.
Yeah, we're sorry to cut you off. Hey, I got to mention Metallica if we're talking Monsters of Rock. Go ahead.
No, I just remember looking through the tour book and just being really nervous because I grown up. My first introduction to Van Halen was '84, the '84 music videos, and then I really got into them after the movie Back to the Future, where
Okay.
Marty had the cassette tape that said Eddie Van Halen on it.
Mhm.
That's when I really got into them.
Okay.
And then there was the home video in '86. I'd watch that all the time. And then so when I first saw them in '88, I couldn't believe it. And I remember seeing Eddie throwing cigarettes, off the stage, jumping around, kicking stuff over, you know. And then I saw them every tour after that. Pretty much, I missed the '98 tour because I was on tour myself that year, but everything after that, I was there, and then
Yep.
yeah.
It's well, jokingly but serious. I do feel bad for you guys. This is the rite of passage of being older because there's people older than me that rub it in. Listen, I got a friend of mine, Greg, that posts yearly, like the anniversary of him seeing Van Halen at the Palladium in New York City on Van Halen 2, and puts pictures up. And every year I see him, it's like, go fuck yourself. It's like, it's like it's like that's not right. And I have friends that saw them open for Sabbath in '78. It's like, it doesn't matter whatever you think the greatest show of your life that you've seen, that was better. Seeing Van Halen open for Black Sabbath.
Yeah,
I know people that grew up with them. I know people that saw them in the clubs. I know a guy that used to jam with, that was in one of Eddie's first bands in 1969.
What's his name?
His name is Bill Maxwell. He was in the Trojan Rubber Company with Eddie and Alex. Actually, another guy, Dennis Travis, is a friend of mine. He was in their band as well.
That's fantastic.
And they tell me stories about them way back.
I'm sorry, Joe. You were going to say something?
No,
Jay?
I didn't want to cut Johnny off, but no, Butch. See, here's where I disagree with your thing about the older fans, that type of stuff. I am of the age of like when I was getting into Van Halen, obviously because of my brother, but where I didn't like when all of a sudden in '85, Dave left or whatever the story is. I wasn't like it. I had no idea what was going on.
Right.
And the next thing you know, Sammy Hagar is the singer of Van Halen. I had known Sammy obviously from 3 Lockbox and obviously 55.
Mm-hmm.
But like for me, it wasn't like, it's not like I grew up all my 15 years or something listening to Roth. It was just okay. Van Halen was with Sammy Hagar now, so right. I literally love the two eras, like virtually neck and neck. So for me, that's actually better than preferring one over the other. So I can listen to the whole, Van Halen 1 to balance and be fine with it.
And listen, Johnny, me and Jay have talked about this before. You can't. Johnny likes to be positive, and you can't talk bad. And I'm not talking bad about it. I have all the Hagar stuff. I do. I have it all. You can't, and there's no comparison. That guy, listen, that guy right there is nowhere to be found when Hagar was around. It's listen, okay, so you know what? Let me get this out of the way now. I know everyone that's on the from the butcher shop stuff or friends that normally are watching this right now is like, oh God, he's gonna get into the whole Edward Eddie thing. So let me just broach this right now. So here's the thing. This is my theory, and I mean this as much as I'm going to joke and smile about it, but I absolutely do mean this to the core of me. Edward Van Halen.
Wait, before you start, I have to say this. Any time that Butch has said anything like what he's about to say to me, whether it be on the phone or through text message, I feel like somebody is yelling at me.
Yep.
I'm like,
yep.
Okay.
It's like, listen, this is it.
Son of a bitch.
Edward Van Halen is from 1970. Well, obviously the club days which is even more fierce. And I'm sure we'll talk about bootlegs and all that stuff at some point. But Edward Van Halen is from 1978 to half of 1982.
Oh,
I really want to say 81. But I'm going to be nice and say 80. No, fuck it. I'm going to say 81. So Edward Van Halen is 78 to 81. So the first album to Fair Warning. He was fierce. He didn't tap, and this is the big thing. He didn't tap a lot. He tapped for accent and to prove a point. 82 was Diver Down when I finally saw him, and he was awesome. I have bootlegs now that I've listened to, and now it's like his tone. And I'm not saying anything bad about him. Understand this. I'm not saying anything bad about Edward at all. I'm just giving my theory of how he changed and evolved. He also got married in 1981, which I think is a huge thing where he changed. When he was young, there was nobody on this planet that was even remotely in his stratosphere. He did shit, the tone, the things he did, the tapping, phenomenal. 82 comes around, he gets comfortable. Just like his hero. His hero was Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton got comfortable and stopped playing. He tore it up in his 60s. He came into the 70s. I'm going to make a lot of money and be a pop guy. Edward, up to 81, Fair Warning. Listen, the beginning of Mean Street, come on. So from Eruption to Mean Street, he was revolutionizing everything you heard in guitar music. And then he got comfortable. And so when you start now Diver Down is still really cool because it's the combination of it. And in 84, he was fully Eddie. Tap, 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 keyboards, blah, blah, blah. He was a different guy. And then when you guys come in, you guys being younger, your Eddie is the guy that does so. That's your Eddie.
That's
Eddie,
our favorite stuff.
exactly. And I don't fault anybody on it. But for me, my Edward was the guy doing Light Up the Sky, was fierce. His tapping thing was and then
it one thing, yeah.
So there's two different guys. I mean, I always joke about it. I mean, obviously I love both. I'm always gonna love the early stuff. The Edward era for me is untouchable. Thank you. It's clear as fucking day. You listen. So Jay, I'm gonna go at you now because Johnny, I don't know Johnny that well. Jay, I know you, so I can rip on you, and you guys are the same. So I'm ripping on you, but I'm ripping on Johnny at the same time. You cannot compare. I'll stick with my Light Up the Sky. You can't compare Light Up the Sky with Finish What You Started.
Well, yeah, but you're picking apples and farts. You
Exactly.
Know, you can't really compare the two.
Oh well, it wouldn't be funny if I picked something that was close.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I understand.
No, I know it's a better analogy.
Van Halen is definitely heavier.
Absolutely.
You know, it is more of a aggressive, like down and dirty attitude, and I totally get that. And when I listen to the Roth era and then the Sammy era,
yep.
I get a different feeling when I listen to the two.
Oh, absolutely.
I get more of an attitude and like you can take over the world type of thing with Dave.
Yep.
It's like a badass.
Yep.
And then Sammy, it's more of like a uplifting, positive, like I feel good,
right.
Like, let's go do shit. But I'm just glad that I love them both. That's all. Because I get to enjoy. And Butch, the funniest thing about this, right? And I don't know if I've told Johnny this. I explained it to my wife downstairs before I came up here. I was like, I was talking to, I remember a conversation Butch and I had a while back about Sammy. And I hope I'm correct in saying this if I remember it properly, but you actually like Sammy's solo stuff before he joined Van Halen. Am I right?
Not really.
Who was it? Who was I talking to?
You know what it is?
Solo.
I love Montrose. I love the first Montrose record. The Montrose debut record. Everyone should own. That is a perfect record. I love the Montrose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Santa Cruz 3600. I'm 53, so we're close.
There you go.
The Montrose debut. If anyone is listening, watching this, and you don't have it, I'm obviously trying to pick on Hagar a little bit, but That is the best. That's the best Sammy Hagar there is. His first record when he was 21 years old. He peaked when he started.
Oh my god!
But you know what? I will say this. I'll take this. Let me amend that. The Montrose debut in '74, I think it is, and the HSAS record with Neil Schon in '82. Those two records, because if you guys don't know that one, that's
I grew up on both. I had them both.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My brother had that cassette, but I don't think it's on. It never got like released into streaming or digital, I believe, right? Because I remember searching for it like maybe 2 years ago, and I couldn't find it.
It's on YouTube.
Well, yeah, but
for sure,
everything is. Right?
I mean, I have the CD and I have the album. I don't know. I would think so. Look, Sammy and Neil Schon, they want to get paid, so it's got to be out there.
Unless whatever, who knows what label. But let me ask you this, Butch, because Johnny and I
were on Geffen originally.
Johnny and I kind of we talk about this from time to time about, you know, when Dave left Van Halen, it was kind of like, as far as music and stuff like that, and what was happening in the music industry and pop culture. Mm-hmm. Do you think if Roth would have stayed in Van Halen into the early 90s, through 1990 into the early 90s, do you think Van Halen would have survived grunge with Roth?
Yeah.
Really, you think?
Because of Van Halen. They were huge.
That, but when Roth went solo for his first two records, obviously Eat 'Em and Smile did amazing.
Of course.
And then obviously, Skyscraper got a little cheesy with some stuff, but
Yep.
But then after that,
by the way,
after that, I feel like his shtick got a little.
It got old.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't know the Chad. Yeah, that's my buddy Chad. He kind of.
But you know what?
Obviously, we'll never know. But it's one of those things.
I love KXM, by the way. Those guys are awesome. I love Lynch. But you know what, Jay? I get what you're saying. But if they could have honed him in Van Halen, so 84. So Roth was Roth in Van Halen. Mm-hmm. When that ended, he could be Roth. And him being Roth ruined Roth. He did. You know what I mean? Roth. You had Vi, you had Sheehan. He fucked it up enough that he lost Sheehan and then went down from there. I think if he was still in Van Halen, that huge anomaly of what they were doing, I think that they probably could have reined him in enough that he wouldn't have been Roth. He could have been Roth in Van Halen, and it would have been a little bit different. But you're probably right, though. It probably would have imploded by 88.
Yeah.
Because it would have got old, and Dave's ego was getting bigger and bigger. But I would like to think that Van Halen with him could have survived it because they were huge. They were they were the biggest band in America. Mm-hmm. They weren't as big overseas because they stopped going over there.
But they became that after Sammy joined. Jay, that's what Jay told me to say.
Yeah,
Jay was thinking it. I know he was thinking it.
I texted with my arms crossed. Hey, tell Butch this.
That right there. The songbook I bought as a kid, only because the inside of it, everything is fucking wrong. But I bought it because hold on, where's the picture?
Oh yeah.
The one that's all sticky? Oh.
It's not all sticky. And Edward Van Halen, the wrong hand. See, I'm doing this back. Where the fuck am I? Right there.
Yep.
I can't even explain how happy it makes me just to go scrolling through and look at all these pictures. It's stuff that I've seen forever. If you just watch me, I would just giggle and smile all by myself. It just makes me so fucking happy. I don't know. I can't explain it. But not with Hagar.
So that was my next question. Where, it's like this is like a Kennedy assassination thing here. Where were you when you found out that's that Dave left number one, and then when you found out Sammy was in, and then to top it all off, did you actually buy 5150 the day it came out? I know it's a loaded question. Take your time.
I don't know. I don't know. I doubt that I bought 5150 the day it came out, but I did buy it. So I do have it, but I don't remember where I was when I heard it. I'm sure it was an MTV thing for sure that I heard it and saw. I'm like, but I'll tell you this: I graduated in 1985, and I ordered I'd already had a Kramer. I had a Kramer Pacer Carrara, the all black one with no fret markers on the fretboard and everything. And if you go and see, there's a famous poster of see, James Stewart gets it.
You're going to be the most popular person that's ever been on here.
I love it. If you go and look up, if you just go with the Google and put in Edward Van Halen Kramer poster, there'll be a poster of Eddie standing, and then I call him Eddie, and of Eddie standing there with his guitar on the Frankenstein, and then there's three guitars in front of him, and then in the middle of that is my guitar. It's an all black Kramer with the beak headstock on it.
I know that picture. Our friend took that picture. Our friend was his photographer for Kramer.
Really?
And Glenn LaFerman. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's fucking cool. I had that was the first good guitar I ever got, and I still have it. I changed the neck, but I still have that guitar. I graduated 85, and 85 I had some graduation money, and I ordered a Kramer Beretta in candy apple red with a 1 3/4 neck, so a wide baseball, wide thick neck. I have big hands, so wide neck. It comes in 1986. Who's the singer of Van Halen in 1986? And I start to see pictures and videos. Now Eddie is well entrenched with Kramer. He's full endorsed with Kramer. He's big. He's the guy. Hagar gets in the band.
He's playing a red Kramer. Does yours have the slanted pickup as well?
Yep, it's a Beretta.
The rosewood board.
Yep. It was Jay.
So you got the Sammy Hagar signature Kramer.
Yes. The headstock was red and matched the body. I see the video. I'm like, Sammy Hagar's got the same fucking guitar. I went home. I swear to God, I have the guitar to this day. Different neck again. I changed the neck again. But I have the guitar. I had spread like 3 or 4 cans. Exactly. That's fucking it.
Somebody superimposed Butch's head on
exactly.
Cobra Kai.
Oh my God.
You know what to do.
Oh my God. I went home from work. I had 3 or 4 cans of spray paint. I laid the guitar down. I took the strings off, but I didn't take the neck off. This is how lazy I was. And I put some, I think I might have taken some like plastic bags and taped around a little bit around the neck so it wouldn't get spray on the neck. And I took spray paint and I sprayed different shit all over the body of the guitar. I don't know what the guitar was sprayed with. I had lacquer and enamel paint. It bubbled up. And
no.
And but it looked cool. It was stupid, but it looked cool. I'm like, I cannot play the same guitar that Sammy Hagar is playing now in Van Halen. I cannot have this. So again, I don't hate Sammy Hagar. That's exactly fucking it. That was it. Johnny, you don't understand. Exactly.
Oh, does it say Butch Jones?
Okay. That must have been an Eddie one, because that headstock had the Kramer logo a little different. So Eddie must have got him that one.
It has tape on it. He would put his picks.
Oh, okay. It's
the
tape there.
headstock.
Okay.
It's
Yep.
tape. Okay.
Yeah, I can see. Okay. Yep. I was disgusted when I saw him with the same.
That's right. That's right. Butch Jones is buying this guitar.
I was in defeat. I was so upset. I'm like, nope. And I spray painted it. And I'm like, I can't have Hagar's. Oh my God. Now, Hagar from Montrose, I would have loved it. No. But you know what? Just like Gary Sharon, it wasn't his fault. He didn't write the songs. He sounded great on it. Hagar did his thing. It was Eddie, not Edward. Eddie was different. But I'm not saying anything bad, Johnny. I'm not disparaging Eddie. God knows I love him to the core. But I like Edward better.
I can understand.
Yeah,
I mean, I can. I mean, like the first record I ever bought was 5150.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I bought Van Halen 1 right after that, so I grew up on both. To me, it was all Van Halen, and so I had all those older records to buy.
Right.
You know, like you only had the one. So I can tell you, I remember buying Van Halen 2, Women and Children First, Fair Warning.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I mean, it was all in the later 80s.
Yeah.
But I can remember hearing each one for the first time, and it all being Van Halen. Well, for me, it was all about Edward. For me, it was, I mean,
Absolutely.
still is.
But let me ask you, Johnny, then, because that's crazy. So you have 5150, and then you have Van Halen 1.
Mm-hmm.
How did that mix for you? That's complete polar opposites.
How old were you? I know you don't like telling people your age, but how old were you when you got 5150?
I was 12.
Okay,
I was 12 years old.
So you're still impressionable.
But for me, like 5150 was was new, the new record. But I remember thinking everything before that, like Diver Down, I'm like, man, that record's old.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew
But
it.
it was only like 5 years or something. But when you're that age, 5 years ago was forever ago.
Ancient, yeah.
So here I am going back buying these older records, you know. But like I said, I was a huge collector, so I had like every magazine cover, I've got guitars. I mean,
yeah.
It's
so let me ask you this then. So you've got 5150 where you're in, and it's funny. You're 12, 5150. I'm 12, Van Halen 2. So those are our entry levels. So now you go from 5150 to Van Halen 1. Can you remember which album you liked better at that time?
I've loved all of it. It wasn't better. It was just different.
It was very different. Yeah.
It was just the keyboard songs. Yeah, the keyboard stuff was the newer stuff. The older stuff was the heavier.
Exactly.
The heavier stuff.
Interesting.
And then I saw them every tour after that, pretty much. And to me, it was all just Van Halen. It wasn't.
Yeah, we didn't have that. What do they call it when you get all, dicky about music when you get a little older? Back then, yeah, it's like
I don't have that yet.
Whatever it is, But it is cool. Like I remember when I got into Anthrax, and started getting their stuff. It was the same type of thing. Like, oh, they have like 3 other tapes out. Call them tapes. 3 other tapes. Which one do I get next? It was like it was a super exciting thing.
You would go by the album cover. So I remember, let's see, I got 5150, Van Halen 1. I want to say the next one I got was Women and Children.
Wow, okay.
Because I thought the album cover,
look,
there was something about that cover that was just super cool.
Yeah.
And then after that, just the different ones, but it was all about the album cover at that point because I had no idea what the music was.
No, understood. Yeah. Back that was the thing. When I was growing up, that's what exactly what we used to be able to buy albums based on the album cover. You didn't know who the band was. You saw a cool logo or look at this. What's Iron Maiden? What's this? What's that? I gotta buy this.
There's a devil on the cover. Oh my God! I can't tell my dad this.
That's exactly what it was, man. You took a chance based on a logo on the album cover. Yep.
Those are the days, man. I remember doing that at what the hell was the media play?
Oh my God, yeah.
Media play in Poughkeepsie. I remember doing that. Gene and I would go, and we literally like go through all the CDs. And this cover, you don't know how many CDs I bought that were complete shit.
Yeah, you took a chance.
Yeah, took a chance. Now it's like, but yeah, but people miss. We kind of mention stuff like this all the time, but the younger music fans nowadays, they don't have the same experience that we had growing up, skipping school on a Tuesday to get the new album coming out.
Yep.
Obviously spending your allowance on a new record that came out, and nowadays you're scrolling through Spotify or whatever it is, and you're coming across all the new music. You put something on for 30 seconds, you're like, what else is there? Exactly. You don't give new music a chance. Even sometimes when it's one of your favorite bands that's coming out with a new album. Yep. Oh, it doesn't sound like the old stuff. It used to be like you spent your own money on this shit back in the day. You sat on the edge of your bed, reading every lyric, analyzing every piece of artwork, and just taking the music in. And it was an experience. It was like a movie, that type of experience. And now it's almost like just in the background type of thing. Oh, lights turn red.
Michael B. Thank you, Michael B. See, it's magic.
I'm sorry, Johnny.
Oh no, I've got a feature where any super chats change the color of my lights, and so
there you go.
Thank you, Michael
Jay, you're so right, because that was the thing. I always talk about, with friends, it's like about our bands. Mm-hmm. That was a band, that kind of thing, that experience made it a band yours, as opposed to, so if you took a chance on something, you're like, this, look at this, look at the logo, look at the album, you look at the album cover and you buy it because something on it, like, ooh,
yeah,
that's badass. And then you go home and you listen to it, you're like, ooh, now they're your band. Mm-hmm. You don't get that from, like you said, on Spotify, or you go into YouTube and check, who's this? You listen to one band, you might like this band. You go over and you click it. I don't like that band. Yeah. You don't have that. When we were younger, you were invested.
You felt like you were a part of it. Yeah.
That was the Van Halen thing. Honestly, the Van Halen army, the whole thing was about being a part of something. It was an important feeling, and I talk about this with a lot of friends all the time, that you would go see a band. You've been like in high school. You're in high school, and you have your friends, you have your clique. You guys are into the same kind of music or whatever, and you go to the local show, and you see each other there. You're like, oh my god, and you buy that shirt. And then the next day you go to school and you see that person that was kind of like, he's kind of a dick. And you see him with the same shirt and you're like, no words need to be said. It's just a point. You're like,
we're having lunch together.
Part of your crew.
Yeah, having lunch together.
It's like, yep, all right.
We're smoking cigarettes on the hill.
Yeah, it was important. It's important to have that click like that, man. It's something. Not with Sammy Hagar, but other than that,
that's the only way Jay and I know each other is because of Sammy.
I love Sammy, man. I watched the my brother recorded Live Without a Net when it was on MTV. It still has on the bottom at one point, like a couple times during the concert, it says Closet Classics will be shown or will air after the Van Halen concert. And it's like a ticker on the bottom every, 20 minutes or something. It'll scroll on the bottom. And then obviously the Van Halen Unleashed when they're doing all the interviews and stuff and goofing off with Sammy. That's the thing too, is the MTV era, young and impressionable. Obviously the Roth stuff, with the Hot for Teacher and everything on MTV was just mind blowing. But yeah, it was at the age I was, it was like, oh, okay, they have a new singer. I had no idea about bands, about whatever. It was just, okay, they got a new singer.
Yep.
Bozique said, I skipped a whole day of college classes when Balance came out. Yeah, I skipped a day. I got in deep shit for that one, too.
Really?
Balance came out. Yeah, I used to get bad grades, so my parents weren't as lenient with me with that type of stuff. My brother, he wouldn't go to school and he'd get straight A's. I was the exact opposite. I'd go to school and fail. It's like two complete opposites.
I remember in New Year's Eve, 1983, going into 84, and all my friends were going to parties. and I'm like, listen, I'm going to be at the party later. Van Halen has got the debut of the new song "Jump" at the stroke of midnight, going into '84. I have to be home to watch it, and I stay home, and what do I see? And you know, and I didn't dislike it. I was just like, oh wow, you know. And then the solo comes in, you know, the face and everything of doing this thing, and it was cool. But it was like, that's not what I was expecting. But you know, the whole point is I stayed home to watch it.
Yeah,
it was like life does not happen until after this happens on New Year's Day, 1984. But you know. It was different.
You always see the argument on these Van Halen forums. You know, Johnny talked about it before, the one that he has like, you know, 1 million subscribers to, but people blame Sammy
every day
for Eddie
all day, every day. It's the same thing.
Keyboard stuff, more poppy. And it's like, well, they have their biggest hit, which is their biggest pop song.
Yep.
Is Jump. I mean, was it really Sammy's fault? No, I think Eddie was already going in that direction. And
Eddie,
go ahead, Johnny.
Eddie wrote Jump before Fair Warning.
Yep. Oh, I have a whole bunch of bootlegs where he's in the studio just riffing. It's like 20 minutes long, and he's in the studio just playing. It's nothing but Eddie, and he's just riffing and all this. And you hear bits and pieces of stuff that came like 5, 6, 7 years later.
Yeah. Oh, the top,
amazing.
like the top of the world and the end of Jump.
Yeah,
yeah.
But yeah, it's not. It wasn't Hagar's fault. I just don't like Hagar. It was.
but where I was going with this was kind of like, you know, somebody said I read one comment, and I like reading the comments. I don't like commenting because I don't want to. I can't. You know.
You didn't want to get involved in that?
No, it's just pointless. Whoa!
Wait a minute. Hold on. Look at the picture. Hey, I'm in Van Halen now. Let me put some stripes on my guitar so I can be like Eddie.
That's before.
This is before Van Halen.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow. I never saw that.
What year is that? Do you know what year?
So his drummer played Ludwig as well?
I think it's 80. Is it 84?
Oh, wow.
Looks like BOA hair, right?
This is before Van Halen, yeah.
So what that tells me right there is that Hagar really wanted. Wow, that's right after HSAS because he's wearing the same kind of clothes. That is telling me that Sammy says, "Hey Eddie, I really want to be in your band." Hey Eddie, hey, you need a singer? Get rid of Rob. I really want to be in your band.
Man,
no,
what I'm saying is like. I think when Sammy got in there, you know, Eddie realized that Sammy has a much greater singing-wise, a much greater vocal range.
No doubt.
So, you know, there's the argument of that as well. It's not like, I don't know. It's just I understand both arguments. I do. For people, and it usually is the you know the maybe the
old guys.
No, the little older. You know what I mean? That were fans of the Roth era for X amount of years. You know, and I get it. You feel like you're a part.
Different. It's different. I mean, take any band that's been around for a long time, and there's always usually a division of they changed, whether they went commercial for them. Listen, I'll use one of the most popular ones of this, Def Leppard. Def Leppard made 3 phenomenal records. I will always defend Pyromania. People like to, High and Dry is my favorite without a doubt. But Pyromania is a brilliant record. There's nothing wrong with Pyromania. Hysteria, not so much. And then it goes.
I love me Hysteria. I love it. I wasn't
me too.
A fan of Pyromania was my first. Well, maybe not because
Can I exit? Is there a leave button?
Yes, red X right there.
Hey Jay, imagine if Sammy sang on Hysteria.
It would have been better than Elliot.
Obviously, Headed for a Heartbreak was probably the first song I heard. But again, that Pyromania came out in '83, right? My brother got that for Easter. He didn't like it. I started listening to it. I liked it. And when Hysteria came out, I really didn't like it, you know? Obviously, because the first song I heard was "Pour Some Sugar on Me," which
I can't get this right. This camera thing is killing. I'm drinking Colonel Taylor. It's almost there. There you go. Colonel Taylor, small batch, one of my favorite bourbons of all time. About $50 a bottle. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Keep going.
Oh, happy Friday to all except Jay. Thanks, Brian.
See?
Thanks.
Because you like hysteria. And I heard Johnny say it too.
Now I'm throwing him under the bus. He was the one that I mentioned listening to I'm the One, who's not a huge Van Halen fan. So that's him.
Wait.
Get him!
He doesn't like I'm the One?
No, he was the one that he was the one that's not a huge Van Halen fan. And he's like, what song would you want me to listen to kind of get the guitar?
Right.
You know, so that's the one who I told him.
Hold on. So you told him to listen to I'm the One. Mm-hmm. What did he say after you listened to it?
When he realized that came out in 1978, he was like, "Oh, okay, I get it." Yeah, he's like, "That song sounds like it's a bitch to play."
Okay. So he's fully vested. He got it.
He got it. I mean, it doesn't mean he's I'm sure he doesn't consider himself a Van Halen fan. But
listen, so I didn't see the name. Forget Jay. Listen to me. Listen to Light Up the Sky. Van Halen 2. Listen to Light Up the Sky. If you don't like Light Up the Sky, there's no hope for you.
If I remember correctly, I don't think Boner Jams is a huge Roth guy.
It's not about Roth. Do you not understand? We're not talking about Roth. This is about Edward.
Roth is the singer. He's up there.
About Roth. Roth is cool as shit. Look, he was on the first three. Roth is cool as fucking shit, but it's about Edward, and it's about It
was a combination. It was the chemistry of the two of those. 100%. In those, especially the end of right before the outro in Mean Street, when Roth's little shtick, not shtick, I don't want to call it a shtick. It's absolutely about, and somebody said fair. That whole thing,
yep,
dude.
Badass.
I feel like I could walk through broken glass and fire when he says that. And then, strike that boy down. And then Eddie comes in with the right after. It's like, oh God.
It's badass.
It's awesome.
Yep. What's your friend's name? What was his handle on there?
Boner Jams.
Boner Jams. Stop watching us and go listen. Do this for me. Go listen to Light Up the Sky and then come back. Boner, there it is. Go listen to Light Up the Sky and then come back. And then tell me that you're not on board. I'm sorry. There is no way that any human being can hear that song and not go, oh, okay. Oh, shit. No, it's impossible. Go listen to that and then come back and comment. We'll be here.
I'm just glad I love it all, man. Glad I love it all. I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame that both eras had to end the way they did. But
well, Jay, let me say this. When I saw Edward Van Halen in 1982, he was wearing those badass cool overalls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool, the coolest guy on the fucking planet. He's wearing overalls on stage, and exactly those weren't the ones, but that was close. It's the same tour. Absolutely. Look at him right there. That's Jay.
I know.
That's Edward, not Eddie. That's Edward. Right there. The man that could do no fucking wrong. That's the man. Thank you, Johnny. That's the man. What you guys got to see was Eddie Van Halen playing a Steinberger and big bossy looking fucking pants on and doing the ZZ Top thing, walking across the stage doing with Hagar.
Hell yeah, the 51. Yeah, I love it.
There is nothing cool about that, and there's everything cool about this guy right fucking here. My guy wins, your guy loses. Nothing cool about nothing. No, I'm sorry. Nothing. I love him. Nothing cool about that guy.
I love it.
No, you don't. You think you do.
Have you watched Live Without a Net?
Absolutely not.
You've never watched?
I can't. I can't. He sits down. I've seen bits and pieces. He sits down on the drum riser and does a solo with those big baggy pants. And I saw, and this is the thing, I saw them on those tours, so I was witness to it.
Oh, wow!
It bothers the shit out of me.
Man.
I wanted those pants.
Of course you did. Eddie, because Eddie had them. I understand that. Eddie had the pants. You would want them 100%. They're not cool though. What you want, Johnny, go to Google right now and put in Edward Van Halen 1979 and bring up the first picture. No. Those pants aren't bad. That's not even the pants I'm talking about. He had those pink pants where they're humongous.
Yeah.
Those aren't even bad. Go to Google, put in Edward Van Halen 1979 and show the picture that you see.
The first picture? Okay.
Listen, I'm a black kid from New York. I wanted to be Eddie Van Halen in 1979. I wanted to have his hair and the vest. I would have done anything I could. I would have done the Jerry curl. I would have done anything I could. That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about right there. The coolest man on the fucking planet. Right there. Backstage 1979. Done. Show's over. Nice to see everybody. I had a lot of fun here. That's it. You can't top that. Come on. There is no topping that guy. Jay right now is looking through 1984. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an out. I think that's an outtake.
That's the outtake. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love that guitar that he got from Charvel wasn't even playable. They threw that together so he could do that photo shoot. It was completely unplayable.
Yeah, the pickup wasn't even wired up then.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
There you go, man.
That's my boy. That's it.
Go.
There is no topping that guy. You guys got to see big baggy pants Eddie with a Steinberger. It doesn't compare to this.
Steinberger's cool as shit.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Jay.
See, I've got one back there. See?
Wait a minute. Is that a Steinberger or is it a Kramer?
The Steinberger.
No, it's a copy. It's not a real Steinberger. But...
I can see the roundness on the edge. That's why I'm like, that ain't a Steinberger.
Jeannie just texted me this picture. Now I got my wife sending me pictures.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. 1980 right there.
You man. All right, wait. I forgot. I'm getting text messages from my band right now. There you go. We're doing a premiere.
11 minutes technically, but yeah.
Yeah, so we're doing a premiere for the lyric video tonight.
Gizmachi
lyric video. We're gonna send everybody over there. But hey, before we do that, Butch, we're gonna do something we like to call, what do we call it? Rapid fire, lightning round. What is it? Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna ask you some questions. I want to have them answered immediately. So basically, I'm gonna read off. You're gonna choose between two things.
Okay.
Right? One or the other. If it's something you really don't want to choose, if something, whatever.
Okay, bring it. I'm ready to go.
So, all right, here we go. We're going to start. I'll put a 2-minute timer on
right
here.
Then.
I'm going to start with something easy for you. Sammy or Dave?
Dave.
Football or baseball?
Football.
Ibanez or Jackson?
Jackson.
Ghostbusters or Caddyshack?
Caddyshack.
Steve Vai or Joe Satriani?
Vai.
Dogs or cats?
Cats.
Waffles or pancakes?
Waffles.
CD or vinyl?
CD.
CD or streaming?
CD.
Ronick or Bure?
Ronick. JR.
The Frankenstrat or the Bumblebee?
Bumblebee.
Van Hagar or Firehouse?
Firehouse.
What? Video games or pornography?
Pornography.
Metallica or Megadeth?
Megadeth.
Rust in Peace or Countdown to Extinction?
Rust in Peace.
Christmas or your birthday?
My birthday.
Wrestling or boxing?
Boxing.
Boxers or tighty whities?
Boxers.
Hockey or guitar?
Hockey.
Oh, okay. Coffee or energy drinks?
Energy drink.
Gizmachi with Bjorn Strid or Gizmachi with
Gizmachi with Bjorn.
We're out of time.
Sorry, Sean.
So in a few minutes now, if everybody wants to come back, that's fine. That'd be cool. Butch, I don't know what you're doing later.
I'm having a blast.
All right, so maybe Johnny, if you're cool with it, at 10 o'clock, we put the link in the chat. Maybe have everybody click on it in a separate window in the chat. Hey, remember, I'm originally from Illinois, so I could still.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, for 9 years I lived there. When the
I
Bears
did not know that. Patrick Sharp.
Yeah, that's right. So everybody open that in a separate window, and then mute this one. Well, not yet. Don't mute it yet.
You got a lot of things to do. Jesus Christ, a lot of
I'm
rules.
already getting confused here. and I gotta pee real bad.
That's why I'm just drinking bourbon. I don't know what the fuck is. I'm just drinking. Go here, turn this off, turn this on. Wait a minute, come back. What the fuck are you talking about?
Unplug it, plug it back in.
Well, no, technically they don't have to mute this.
No,
They don't. No,
What
we
is
do.
wrong?
We have to mute it.
Just
Oh,
go to YouTube and put in 1979 Van Halen Fresno. That's all you need to do.
Let me open up the.
But light up the sky. It blew my fucking mind. I was so happy.
Well, Boner
Man.
Jam says I like light up the sky, Butch. That's what he said.
Of course you do. You're not a dummy.
Butch, have you heard some of the recent 79 soundboards that have been surfacing?
Yes, I have.
There's a Florida, Tucson, and Florida.
Oh. Johnny,
Unbelievable.
I got in 1979 only, Van Halen 2.
Right back.
I probably have 12 bootlegs. I've got the very first show, and I've got the very last show, and then I have a bunch of stuff in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes me so happy. I can't even no one I know no one can understand. It makes me so happy. It's the same stuff over and over and over again, and I listen to it and I catch myself grinning. It's like I'm so happy to hear this.
It's amazing because I remember when I was a kid, just imagining what it would have been like to be at some of those shows.
To be there, exactly.
You know, because my first show was '88, so it wasn't. I couldn't have been at the other ones. But being able to hear some of these soundboards now with the headphones,
Good
it's like
God.
I'm actually there.
You're there, absolutely.
And it is a different thing. It really is.
People just don't. I mean, that's why I'm glad you guys had me on, and I enjoy just. I'll be sitting at home texting with somebody about something, and I'm talking the same way I'm talking to you. I get so ramped up. It's like it means so much just to hear these songs and just to understand that this is the second show of this tour. And they playing these songs that they've been playing however many times in the studio and in rehearsal and getting them ready. Mm-hmm. It means so much just to hear this stuff. It's just, oh my God, it makes me so beyond happy. I'm still I pride myself to say that I'm still that 12-year-old kid hearing this stuff in 2021. It makes me feel the same exact thing that I felt then. It really, really does. It makes me so happy. And I'm listening to it by my. I'm not even. Please understand. I am not exaggerating. I'll be by myself, sitting in the same room or in my car, and I hear something. And I'm like, "What's Daddy?" It's that 12-year-old kid, man, and that's what means so much. That's why I'm so adamant about this stuff. It's like, no, it's not Hagar. What are you talking about, Jay? Fuck you. I can't be friends with you. 5150 is your favorite band. Oh, I have to reevaluate us being friends. This isn't right. Just go listen to Van Halen 2 and call me tomorrow.
I put 5150 on, and I just get in such a good mood. I get so like a couple songs give me goosebumps in certain parts. It's like, oh God.
It makes you happy, and it makes me angry that you're getting happy. I mean, why are you happy about this? Just go listen to Bottoms. Listen how Van Halen completely just took ZZ Top's vibe and made a song. And I got to tell you, again, I've had Van Halen 2 since I was 12 years old. It didn't resonate with me until 8-10 years ago that I hear Bottoms Up. I'm like, wait a minute. They did covers of ZZ Top. Oh my God, they ripped off ZZ Top on this song. That's a completely ZZ Top vibe, but it's badass. You know? Oh my God, it's just
and to hear those boots from 76, 77, you know, of them playing all those covers. You've heard of all that stuff?
Unbelievable. I've been posting lately on the stupid butcher shop group thing. I've had these bootlegs for 20, 25 years almost. And it's ridiculous. It's like you hear it and you're like, they were so far ahead of the game just doing cover stuff. I have them doing Kiss, Aerosmith, ZZ Top, Budgie, all these bands.
Yeah.
And you hear them do it and you're like, they're doing it better than the guys that wrote it. They were and this is a teenage Edward. Just obliterating. He's playing guitar in 1975 at Pasadena High School. The people that were there watching it absolutely had no clue. For us, you know, even a few years later, but I mean, especially now, you listen to this stuff, you're like, do these people understand what is being thrown at them?
2-minute warning.
Exactly. They can't comprehend what's going on. It's beyond comprehension. It really is. This is my thing. Here's the ending thing. Edward Van Halen, and especially before they were signed, 74, 75, 76, 77, whatever. That is our version of Jimi Hendrix in 1967, where you're watching this guy do stuff that no one had ever, and these, you know, here you got, and I can say it, here's the black guy with two white guys behind him, and he's the guy playing to a white audience, and he's doing this stuff, and they're like, I know it's good, but I don't. And then 78 comes, and here's the white guy that's from Holland, that's Dutch, doing the same thing, and and everyone in LA and California is.
Yeah.
We got 30 seconds before
I'm
this.
sorry.
No. I want to add our buddy Caleb, who's we do a Saturday night show. It starts at midnight East Coast. He asked in the chat, and then he just texted me. He said, "Have Butch come on and join us one night for Saturday Night Live," because I think he wants to talk some Van Halen with you.
I'm ready to go, buddy. You let me know. I'm in.
All right, so we're gonna watch this and then come back. Is that what's happening here?
I'm here.
All right. Everybody, click on that link in the chat. God damn it! 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna mute myself.
Butch, are you watching the video?
I don't see anything. I just
No.
see you guys.
Yeah, I know. It's another. It's a lyric video.
Okay.
It's a video of Jay's song.
This is. I'm having a blast, guys. I really am. This is
yeah.
This is exactly what I expected it to be.
I'm gonna show. Can I show the picture of us? This is Butch and I. We actually met a few years ago.
Yeah.
You said 2018?
I think it was 18. Yeah.
This is us. Just at the NAM show.
That is so me.
And this picture was for Jay. I went up to Butch. I'm like, hey, I'm Jay's friend. And can I take a picture of us? And that was the picture.
I love it. I love it. Oh God. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I was a part of this. This is a lot of fun. It really is. And obviously my whole thing is I'm a real guy, and I just say it how it is, and you can feel the emotion from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't even when my mom took me there and I got that record, when I came home and listened to that, I can't even. I've talked so much over the years about that. Eddie and Schenker, and having no concept of what I was going into, and playing those two records, life completely altered. Completely altered.
Mm-hmm.
And just like I said, this where's the songbook, and just the look at these pictures and see everything. This was the guy, man. He means
those
so much
pictures.
to me.
Those, I don't know if, like I told you, I was a huge Van Halen collector for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Those pictures are actually from the Van Halen 2 tour book.
Are they really?
Mm-hmm.
That I did not know.
So if you ever get the Van Halen 2 tour book, you'll see that and more. Probably more of that. Every tour book, I had every one, and the ones that you want to get for the Roth years, you want to get Women, Children First tour book.
Mm-hmm.
Women, Children First, Fair Warning is cool, but Women, Children First and the Diver Down tour books.
I have the Diver Down. I have
okay,
that.
So you know how the Diver Down has all the different stuff, like tables full of Women, Children First is similar to that. The book.
I would sit home the whole weekend and not be bothered by anybody else, but just looking at that. I would lose my shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's, oh my God. I bought the Diver Down. I've always said that Van Halen had the worst tour merch. Cause I went as a 15-year-old kid to take my money. Here, I take it. And I'm looking at the shirt. I'm like, but those shirts are lame. What's that? I don't want that. So I bought the program, and I came home and I cut all the pictures of Eddie out and put them up on my wall, and I still have the remnants of it, but it's completely pictures taken out of it and everything. But yeah, oh my God, Women and Children First I've never seen that. I would love to see that.
Check this out.
Oh,
this was my wall in. Well, this will show you exactly kind of how I am. Mm-hmm. This was my wall in 1989.
Oh, Jesus.
So these are all Xerox copies from magazines that I would take. And you can see it's a mixture.
Yeah.
It's everything. It's Roth, it's Hagar.
Wow.
So to show you that I grew up on all of it.
I'll
actually post a better picture of this on the community tab. But
my room was I didn't have little pictures like that. I had like bigger pictures and posters and stuff, but it was you walked in my room, the front of the door, the back of the door, behind that door, all everywhere. It was on the ceiling, posters, pictures. It was I'll have to send you pictures. I have pictures from 88 of when I took pictures of my room at that time, but 88 Edward was already Eddie. So I had already I had been mad at him and I had taken a lot of the Eddie pictures out, but there's still a lot of there's posters of him up there, posters that I've never seen since, that they must have only made it for a little bit of time and I've never seen since. And there's some good stuff, but believe me, I feel your pain. I understand. It was Jesus Christ. I would buy magazines and cut the pictures out and put them up on with fun. Remember Funtac?
Mm-hmm.
Funtac was oh my God. It was every inch of my bedroom ceiling. It moved to the ceiling because I ran out of room. So I'm like, okay, well, I got to put this here and in here. it was fabulous.
Mine was 3 full walls, like 3 full. And what I would do was, like I said, I was a collector, so I'd buy the magazines. I
Yeah.
wouldn't cut them up. I would Xerox the
Save 'em,
pictures.
yep. Oh,
I'd go down to
okay.
the local college, and I would spend all my money on Xeroxing all the magazine pictures. So I still had them,
Yeah, that's awesome.
But my wall would be in black and white because of all Xerox,
Brilliant.
But I had so much stuff back in the day, man. I mean,
That's
I
awesome.
still have like so many well, I mean, I ended up having to sell all this stuff over the years, but I'm
Yeah.
blurry, so I gotta
As you have to do.
but some of the special things I still have, like certain vinyl copies of this, or certain magazines, or autograph stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have all that.
Did you ever meet him?
Mm-hmm.
Did you? When?
I met him 2014.
Really?
2014. I was invited to a party that he was at. A mutual friend invited me to a party that he was at, and I got to spend some time just joking around with him, and
that's fantastic.
And he was just a normal dude.
Normal guy. Absolutely.
Normal.
Yep.
And it didn't hit me till a couple days later. I'm sitting at a stoplight and I'm like, did that really happen? You know?
You know what? And I meant to, I told myself earlier in the day to bring this up in the show, and I totally forgot until just now. I never got to meet him. I wasn't even close. Honestly, I've met a lot of my heroes and become friends with them, but I wasn't even even remotely close to meeting Eddie. But as Jay knows, obviously hockey is a big thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
And my biggest hero of my lifetime is always going to be Wayne Gretzky. That he's the be all and end all for me. But Wayne Gretzky and Edward Van Halen are born on the same day, which is to me is obliterating. So you have two guys literally in my lifetime that changed what they just before. Gretzky. Oh my God. It's just awesome, Johnny. It was a long time ago when I realized it and figured it out. But to take Wayne Gretzky and Edward Van Halen, that completely changed the scope of what they both did. Gretzky completely changed hockey, and Eddie completely changed guitar, and they're born on the same day. And these are the two people. That's to me that is like for me. If for me to tell somebody else, it's amazing. But for me, I mean, I get it and I understood it, and it's been a long time. But to try to tell somebody that is a friend of mine is like, well, you know a lot like Gretzky, but do you understand that these two guys were born on the same day? That's I've met Gretzky a bunch of times, but I never met Eddie. I would have loved to have been able to have that conversation with either one of them to say, did you know that, because that, I mean, in our lifetime, literally, there is nobody bigger than those two people to change the scope of what they did. That's mind blowing, really. And I know that most people don't even factor that in and think, oh, well, okay, well, Gretzky but these are two people that leveled the playing field of what they do. There was, again, like I said earlier, there's AD and BC. There's what it was before them, and those two guys came and changed how the whole perception of what they do is done now. And if it wasn't for those two, it would be a completely different landscape.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Very important people. But I wish I had met Eddie. Man, I would almost change anybody that I've met if I could have had 5-10 minutes to talk to Eddie, that would have been awesome.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad I met. I'm glad I met him when I did, because I wouldn't have been able to handle meeting him back in the day. You know, back when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I'm only 29, but you know, to meet him back when I was 12, forget it.
Yeah,
forget it. So I'm glad I met him when I did, because I was able to talk to him and realize he's just a regular person.
He's a regular guy. Absolutely. Yep.
And,
yep. But you know what, John? I've had it in my head. Well, obviously before he died, if I had a chance to meet him, all I wanted to do is to bring this one album to him. I knew exactly what was going to happen. All I wanted to do was to bring him this, and I wanted him to sign the front, and I wanted to explain to him. I wanted to say thank you, and I wanted to explain to him the story of my mom taking me to get it. That's all I wanted. I didn't need to have any other conversation. Just sign the front of this, and let me just say thank you from a 12-year-old kid that is no longer 12. That's all I needed. I would have been my life would have been completely. And I've met Gretzky, and I've got to play hockey with. And Jay's back. I got to play hockey with Gretzky. So my Gretzky story was exactly what I would have wanted with Eddie. I just wanted those two things to be parallel, and I could die right now.
Man,
I bet Johnny was loving you talking about hockey, huh?
It's cool.
I was explaining to him how if I could have met Eddie, just to have him sign Van Halen 2, and for me to explain to him what it meant to me, Jay, I don't even know if you know. Do you know that Wayne Gretzky and Eddie Van Halen are born on the same day?
I know it now because of Nerd Halen's comment.
Oh, did he post it? That's a mind-boggling thing. Every year I have to make a big post about it. It's completely life altering. I've met Gretzky. Obviously, I'm never going to meet Eddie, but just to know that the two biggest heroes of my entire existence are born on the same day, and they are completely game changers of their vocations. That's unreal. Gretzky, I mean, you're a hockey guy, so you understand. He completely changed the way hockey is played, and Eddie completely changed the way guitar is played.
Yep.
And I don't think that they ever met each other, but they're born on the same day.
Well, you never know.
If it was the same year, it would be complete.
We have a guy we can ask. We actually have a feature. We have a guy we can ask. John Biel.
Ask if they were ever met.
Yeah. I don't think he's actually watching this, but that's a new graphic, Jay. Thank you, Cobra Kai. He knows everything, that dude.
I don't think that they ever met. I really don't, because Gretz was a very conservative, Anne Murray liking person.
Well, wait a minute, because did Eddie go to the Kings games because of Wolfgang? Wolfgang liked the Kings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gretz was way gone. That was way years. That was years later.
No, I know that, but I'm saying I didn't know if maybe Eddie was a fan years ago when Gretzky was still in LA or something. I had no idea.
You know what? I would not doubt that he was, because it was the thing to go see in LA at that time.
Yeah, so maybe
fuck you. I would not doubt that they actually did meet. The Tiger was in there. No, not even on the same scale as Gretzky. Not even.
No, you got Gretzky, you got Jordan.
Listen, this is my thing. Michael Jordan was the Wayne Gretzky of basketball. That's the way it's supposed to be. But in America, people don't see it that way. Wayne Gretzky retired with 61 records. And Jay, you're a hockey guy. I know that you understand that, so I don't have to.
I'll be right back.
No.
Johnny's gonna go.
No, I have to use the room.
I'm getting all fired up now.
Talking hockey.
You don't say anything bad about Gretzky. Not that anyone has.
I would never. I would. Are you kidding me? I would never.
Gretzky was the man.
61 records.
60 fucking one. He has 61 records when he retired. Lemieux took a record and it was 60, and then Lemieux lost it and it went back to Gretzky.
How did that happen?
After he was, oh my god, oh shit. I'm embarrassed that I don't remember exactly what it was. It was like a shorthanded thing. It was something weird. It was like because Gretzky retired and Lemieux was still playing, Lemieux had like
what did they go back and like review the tapes or something? And
no, it wasn't. It was like because time had gone by and Lemieux, somebody had done something and made Lemieux lose it. So it went back to Gretzky. it was like Gretzky retired with 61 and then lost it to Lemieux in 60, and then it went back and then came back to Gretzky.
Does he still have 61 records or have more?
He has 60. Gretzky has 60.
He's been retired for how long now?
99. He retired 99.
So if you put it like that, so 21 exactly. Years, I guess, because the hockey season's still.
Yeah.
Let's just say 21 years.
Yep.
And he's only lost one goal. One record.
Exactly.
Nerd Halen, who's a big hockey fan as well, he said, take away his goals record, and he would still lead in points just with his assists.
Absolutely.
My God.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's insane. Remember when NHL, what happened?
Go ahead, keep talking.
Remember when NHL 94? Remember everybody?
Absolutely.
You play Kill Gretzky. You play the Kings and just try to kill him, make his head bleed.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh no!
I'm knocking shit down. Which way am I going?
It hit one too.
Oh, wrong hand. I really hate to like. Okay, there you go. Can you see that?
To Butch, great effort. You suck, Wayne Gretzky.
February 2003. I won MVP of the tournament of the Gretzky camp I went to. His initial fantasy camp.
Now, is that his stick or did he sign your stick?
That's his stick.
Oh no!
I just broke shit. It was his stick. Hold on. I'll be back. Hold on. I'm trying not to break my own shit here. Hold on. Stay. God damn it. Oh shit. I broke. I was at the camp and I went up to Gretzky and listen, like I don't know how many opportunities I'm gonna have to talk to my fucking hero. I'm like, hey, can I have a stick? You know, when this is over, can you give me a stick? I have to order. And later on that night, they had a banquet, and I had scored a goal. Glenn Anderson was on my team. Glenn Anderson, and he's like, listen, I was playing center. He's like, let me take the face off. Go to the net. He wins the faceoff, sends it to me. It happened so quick that I didn't even understand what happened. He wins the faceoff, passes to me, and I shoved it in the net. I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck happened? So Gretzky gave me that stick at the end of that night. How was it receiving a pass from him? Considering, oh my gosh,
probably didn't even feel it on your stick.
Exactly, it was unbelievable. The biggest thing was I had said I'm going to go to this camp, and Gretzky is going to pass me a puck. I'm gonna catch the pass. I'm gonna pick up the puck and I'm gonna put it in the back of my pants. And that's exactly what I did. And I got the puck that Gretzky passed to me.
Oh yeah,
it was the greatest thing ever. I was like, I don't care if we win or lose. My hero passed me the puck. I'm taking it. I'm going home.
Are you still playing at all, or you haven't played in a while?
I haven't played with this whole COVID shit. Around here. Okay, you got to dress it outside. You can't come inside. You got to wear a mask. I'm like, you expect me to go play hockey and wear a mask, and I can't spit, and I can't do this, and I can't.
Yeah.
No, I'll see you next year. I don't have time for that.
Yeah, I miss playing. That's the one thing, man.
Yeah,
I still remember the day because I had a shitty back virtually the whole time I played anyway.
Really?
Yeah, but then there was one time where, what the hell was it? It was at Ice Time in Newburgh.
Yep.
And oh man, we were playing with I don't know if you remember the guys from that Air Force team that I was on. It was B League or whatever, but I still remember I was like, my back was sore already. Next thing you know, I went to make a save and I just felt it. I literally left the ice like this, like I couldn't stand up. It just kept happening. Like every few weeks, I'd go back and play again. It would happen, and that was it. That was the last time I ever played.
Wow.
And it sucked because, like, I think a few months before that is when I got all new gear. I got Vaughn pads and stuff at the hell was the
Wesco?
Yes, exactly.
Wesco.
And I had my name sewn in, stitched in, and all this stuff. I had to sell my gear with my name stitched in.
Really?
Yeah, I remember selling that stuff. I was like, damn.
Oh, that sucks.
That's one thing that I wish I could still do is play hockey.
Yeah.
God.
I
had back surgery in the beginning of 2011, and that was basically it. I was like, well,
Oh man.
So yeah, Mad Dog said he had 3 back operations from playing hockey.
Oof.
Yeah. Sucks, man.
You know what? And I went and got my book, and I never even brought it into the whole conversation.
Hey, look, you see,
and I saw that. I saw that. Yep.
Yep.
And I ordered that very expensive Zolzire book from England the other day. So I guess it's supposed to come in June. Now that it's March.
Jesus.
But
so tomorrow night, do you usually stay up late, or are you early?
I'm like you, man. I'm a late guy. I hate getting up early. I'm not a morning guy at all. I'm a late guy.
So then, if you're not too toasted tomorrow night, or don't have too bad of a hangover, if you want, join us on the Saturday night show.
Let me know. I'm in.
If that's cool.
Sure.
Caleb, I can tell, is dying to talk to you. So I'll get nice and fried up here, and I'll just watch you two suck each other's wieners.
What time does it start normally?
We started at midnight.
Oh shit! I'm in. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be up. Absolutely.
All right. I'll send you the link. Johnny is tending to a sick chicken right now.
Okay.
So he said I'll be back in a few. I mean, do you want to wrap it up and
whatever you want to do, brother? I'm looking at my Van Halen 2 album from '79. Still giggling. No one, listen. No one can understand, and I know no one can understand how this makes me feel. I try to explain to people. I know you can't understand.
But I think obviously there's when you play music, maybe it's different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you kind of like maybe take things in that you wouldn't normally hear.
Right. The average person wouldn't get it.
So I think, and especially when you start listening to these records as a kid, when you don't really know how to take everything in,
right?
And then once your ear kind of develops and you start hearing new stuff in the music that you've been listening to for years.
This is the building block.
Yeah.
And if you can, again, I'm trying to work off this camera thing that I keep getting
backwards. Yeah.
Holy shit. I hate that. The fuck am I doing, Jay?
Don't ask me, man.
Okay, wait, hold on. Which hand?
I don't know what I'm doing half the time.
Can you see the tape?
Yes, I do.
Here?
Yep.
So it wouldn't, because it broke through, and I put the clear little plastic tape on it in 1979.
Still there.
And it's all about that guy right there. Look at this. Look at this.
Yep.
Van Halen 1 is I understand the debut is the most epic thing ever. I understand. It revolutionized everything. But he didn't have the bumblebee. It's about the bumblebee. It's about that. It's about seeing that guy.
Do you want me to piss you off? Do you want me to piss you off? You want me to piss you off?
Good.
Out of all of the, if you go between, like, I mean, obviously we all know that the Van Halen 1, the white and black striped, is the same as the Frankenstrat, same guitar is painted over.
Yeah.
But if you consider those as two different things,
and
then you got the bumblebee, and then if you the 5150, Out of all of those, the Bumblebee is my least favorite because he has said in many different interviews that was he never liked how that guitar, he could never get it to sound good.
Right.
So I remember reading that as a kid thinking, oh, that guitar must have been a hunk of junk. That's what I was thinking as a kid reading these interviews, So
exactly.
that's that, but I get it because Caleb is kind of the same as you, staring at that, and I don't want to blow his load before him. Definitely don't want to do that. But same thing, like staring at that album cover with that guitar.
Yeah.
And they just did it for him. So yeah,
Absolutely.
see, you're saying blasphemy.
Yep. No, you're right. You're right. I've read so many interviews exactly the same. It's like, it never sounded right. He had so many different necks on it, and and obviously it's buried with Dimebag from Pantera, which is to me is absolutely phenomenal because Dimebag was the same thing. It's like I want the Van Halen 2 guitar. That was his guitar too, and fortunately for him, he got buried with it. It was just phenomenal.
Yeah,
but no, I understand. It's he has. That was the thing with Edward back in those days. As I'm looking at the picture of him smiling, from Van Halen 2 on the back cover. Exactly. For me, there is nothing that's ever going to beat that cover. Looking at him with that guitar, knowing that the guitar wasn't right, it wasn't playable, but he did the video, he did the pictures for it, the cover up for it, and everything. There is nothing that's ever. Oh my God! There's people that know me a little bit know that I'm a huge John Sykes fan. I always say John Sykes is my hero. John Sykes is my hero, but I say that because Edward is another stratosphere.
Yeah,
there's no reason to have to mention him because he is the beginning of everything that comes after that. So he's there. He's pinned. There's nothing. But to see him on the back of the cover of Van Halen 2 with the Bumblebee, with the Charvel logo and the black headstock, there was, oh my God. I've said to people forever, if I ever had gotten the chance when he was alive, obviously, to have met him. So my joke was, if I got to meet Eddie now, all I would do is take him this cover and just say, thank you for Van Halen 2. All I ever wanted him to do was to sign this. And unfortunately, out of all the people, my heroes that I've been fortunate enough to meet, I didn't come close to meeting him. But if I had ever come close to meeting Eddie, this is it. I wouldn't have brought anything. I would have brought not the vinyl, just this cover. I just need you to sign this because I need you. And I would have told him the story. I would have told him my mother took me to his Corvette department store when I was 12 years old, and I didn't know. And the guy told me to buy this, and I went home and I listened to this. I had them blew my mind and light up the sky and blah. All I wanted him to sign was the cover of this original vinyl from 1979, and as much as it makes me happy to just look at this cover now, it would have made my life to meet him and have him sign this. It would have been nothing better. Nothing.
Yeah.
And I could have had 3.5 minutes and I would have got that all in.
Well, what happened?
70. I was 12, 79, Corvette's department store. My mother bought it. Sign, and I would have left there, been like, oh my God, I met Eddie and he signed. That's it.
Man,
that's it.
So Johnny, I don't know if you can hear me. Should we wrap it up and get back at it tomorrow at midnight? I gotta put Ellie to bed anyway. My 4-year-old daughter's downstairs, and she has the show on. My wife has the show on down there, and Ellie's 4. She thinks every time either me or Johnny say your name, she thinks Butch is a bad word. Why do they keep swearing up there on the show? So Jeannie had to tell her that no, it's his name.
It's not a bad word.
It's a bad motherfucker's one.
I used to shoot pucks at your dad's head.
Oh man. And when I first started playing, and I know we're getting way off topic here, but I remember when I first started playing, I had a like a regular Cooper hockey helmet with just the the wire face shield.
Yep.
Or face, whatever the hell. And there was this kid that played for Cornwall in New York who had a hell of a slap shot in high school, man. And he got me with a slap shot, and the actual cage bent in. My ears started ringing. I was like, "Holy cow!" For a couple seconds, I was like, people think, "Oh, you have a helmet on, you're fine." I'm telling you something, man. That wasn't fun getting hit in the,
Yeah, you stand in front of someone shooting a puck at you, and they'll get out of the way. Your instinct is to get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah. But when it's coming, it's just one of those things. You're almost like, well, I have to block it, so I'm just going to stay here and almost like head the puck. I'm an idiot.
Well, you're a goalie.
Yeah, it was so. Oh man, I loved playing goalie. Man, goalie was so much fun.
And Johnny's back now. Like, oh, they're talking about hockey.
No, I had to deal with. Butch, we have chickens, and we have a chicken that's not feeling well, so we had to give her olive oil.
Okay. We've got a chicken who's not feeling well, so now we got to cook it. What are we having for dinner tonight?
We're having Evelyn for dinner tonight. Cook up Evelyn.
I know people do that. People do that.
Yep.
So anyway, that's where I was. But
I've had a blast with you guys, man. Thank you so much for having me on. This is awesome to talk about Edward, and he means the absolute world to me. And this is awesome.
Awesome, man. Yeah, you'll have to come back, and like they were saying, join us on a Saturday. We do a show on Saturdays as well, but it's midnight Eastern.
I'm up
when we're on.
Well,
the Oilers, as Jay knows, the Oilers are probably on, and so I can put it off on my phone and look and see what's going on. But I'm here.
Caleb wants Butch to come on tomorrow night with us.
All right.
Caleb is like dying to talk to Butch.
I'm in.
Okay.
And
awesome.
Real quick, let me play this for you. So I just got sent this from downstairs.
I want to go up. No, Butch. No, that's a bad word.
Butch is his name.
No, that's a bad word. I just want to go upstairs. Come on.
That's priceless. Oh my god.
That's a bad word.
Oh my god.
You have to explain. Well, Butch used to shoot pucks at Daddy's head.
Yep.
And try to hurt him.
Oh.
I love it. That's awesome.
She's funny. That's good though. I mean, you got a 4-year-old who doesn't want to say bad words. Not that is, but even if he thinks something's a bad word, she doesn't want to say it. So
Exactly. You're off to a good start.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. So then tomorrow, if you want, I'll hit you up during the day. I'll when Johnny sends out the links, I'll send it, and then we can just sit back and watch you and Caleb the whole
Van Halen 2.
They're talking. Me and Johnny will be on the phone. They're talking about Van Halen 2 again.
Like I said, out of the bazillion records I own, Van Halen 2 is still my favorite album of all time.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah. There is something, like when I first bought it, there is something
organic.
More because I'd heard the first record before Van Halen 2, but there is, it's like it, but it's just meaner.
Mm-hmm.
There's something more. What we'll talk about tomorrow.
For 7 hours.
I'm not saying anything.
Awesome. Well, Butch, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank
we'll
you.
We'll see you tomorrow.
I've had a blast. This has been a lot of fun.
Awesome. I know it's later where you guys are. Thank you so much to our channel members here on YouTube. Love you all.
That's a lot of people on
And,
there.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
yeah, Johnny, start reading all those names.
Johnny used to read them, and then the thing got too long, and then we need a whole separate show for that. So
Listen, there's one name in there that I like very, very much, and that's Wayno.
yeah, Wayno's a cool cat.
Oh, yeah.
Wayno,
There he
you
is.
better be a Gretzky fan, because if you're not a Gretzky fan, I'm not going to talk about you ever again. But I like the name that your name is Wayno, and I think Wayne Gretzky, who's my hero of all time.
Awesome. There he is.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Butch, you just have to be on here every day from now on.
Leave me alone, guys. Jeez, come on one time. Jeez.
Love it. Thanks for having me, guys. This has been a lot of fun. Absolutely.
And a long time coming. Like
A
we're
very
talking
long
before
time
the
coming.
show, I asked Butch, I think it might have been close to 3 years ago when I first started doing these with Johnny and Dave that
Absolutely.
I mentioned, and then you're like,
Mhm. I showed the picture. That was
Yeah.
like 3 years ago.
My comment was, why would someone want to see me? They don't know who the fuck I am.
well, now
Why would I would love to be on it. These people don't know who I am.
that's the picture I was trying to send to Johnny for the flyer for the show.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't
I
find
love
it.
it.
So I
And
just
me
said,
and Brett, and if anyone doesn't know what that picture is, that is me with Thin Lizzy, my favorite band of all fucking time. And that is me backstage with Night Ranger wearing Brad Gillis's guitar.
Yeah.
That's Brad Gillis's guitar. And me and Brad have become really good friends. Actually, I was texting with him earlier this afternoon. So
wow.
that's big. Going back to being a kid, for you to tell me that I would be friends with Brad Gillis, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's pretty huge.
So as long as Butch isn't too hungover tomorrow for the show, but you have about 14 hours or 13 hours.
I am never hungover.
You lucky son of a bitch. I get hungover so easily that I have to like really watch my drinking.
That's because you don't see this, Jay. This is what I call it. I call it practicing. You're not getting enough practice in.
I guess not.
If you practice enough, you will not get drunk.
You got to start in the morning, Jay.
Yes.
Yeah. Go out of bed.
When you wake up noontime, it's time to practice.
I'll ask Jeannie
Yeah.
for a mini fridge to put instead of the nightstand. I'll ask for a little mini fridge.
This is awesome.
Well, Butch,
And-
thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot, dude.
Everybody that is watching this for me, seriously, light up the sky.
You're
Van
talking to a chat and fans that are Van Halen fans, so they know.
Yeah, do they? Go listen to fucking right now. Light up the sky. Not finish what you started. Don't listen to Jay. Listen to
compare
me.
Can't
Light up
compare.
the sky.
Light up the sky is better than finish what you started.
That's all I think. That's all I need to hear. I'm out.
It's not
I'm
even
gonna
a,
listen-
it's not even a contest.
No.
I'm gonna listen to that Florida '79 soundboard. I haven't heard it yet. I'm gonna listen to that.
It will make you smile, and I haven't heard it either. But it will. I know that it would have put an instant smile on your face, and that's what I'm talking about. That's what it's all about. Is that Edward smile? The Edward smile that he gave you in every picture that you see of him, and he's grinning. That's what I'm talking about. Is giving you your personal smile of that. God damn! It makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. I can't even try to explain to people. It makes me so, since I was 12 years old. That makes me. That's why I wear these old shirts and stuff like that. It makes me so happy. It makes me so happy.
Awesome.
Yeah,
On that note.
real deal.
All right. Good night, everybody. See you guys tomorrow. Butch, if you want, you can hang out for a few after the ending.
Oh, I ain't going
If you
anywhere.
want. Okay.
He
I'm
was
right
gonna
here.
sit here by himself. Me and you were going to split, and he was just going to.
All right. See everybody tomorrow. Thank you so much. John Beane TV. Good night.